Welcome to the new Monkeycast. I am, of course, CK, aka Cranky Kong from Space Monkey Mafia Studios, and with me, my new cast member, Jesse James King. And tonight we're going to be covering the first part of, what is it? Are we doing three?
It's Phase 2 into Phase 3.
Phase 2 and Phase 3 of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. But this is almost like a three-part little mini-series we're doing with the cast.
Well, we're doing MCU, and then we're doing DCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably do some kind of comparison or something, which will probably never get released. That one. But okay. So anyway, so yeah, a lot to talk about. Obviously, Age of Ultron. Oh, and just so you know, this is not a spoiler-free podcast.
Oh yeah.
If you don't want spoilers about Age of Ultron or anything you've not seen yet, like Daredevil or anything like that, we're going to be talking about the state of Marvel right now, just the cinematic universe, and we'll go into a little bit of the TV universe, obviously, because it ties in. But don't expect not to be spoiled, because you're going to be spoiled a lot. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about deaths of characters and stuff. So
we should have put that disclaimer right at the beginning of the.
But I didn't say anything.
Yeah, not yet. So you caught yourself, which is good.
Yeah, this is a kind of a new format for the cast, so we're doing some new stuff, and it's going to be pretty fun. We're just rolling with it. Okay, so anyway.
Age of Ultron, man.
Oh, yeah.
Age of Ultron.
Okay, first thing I'm going to say, because I know you're going to say it, is a lot of people are saying that, what was it that you said, that it's and it does kind of feel like you're seeing it for...
It feels like you're seeing Avengers again. It just feels like. I mean, I liked it. Yeah. But it does seem like Avengers again.
I mean, I think part of that obviously is the fact that Joss Whedon's directing it again. So I mean, it's got those Joss tropes, and the other thing is the fact that it's like we were talking about, and we'll get into a little bit later, why Joss obviously left Marvel.
Right. Because
of the interview on the podcast with Entertainment Weekly, I think it was, or something I was reading.
Yeah, I done seen the Deadpool photo too.
Yeah. I had to look at it again. I was like, awesome.
Like, sweet.
And
Joss Whedon just money. He made the Hulk. He's just like, Avengers smash,
Dude, he's getting... Okay, Joss Whedon's living the nerd dream right now as far as a filmmaker, and I know he's always been like this. I mean, I've always liked Joss Whedon. Like I said, I loved Buffy, I loved Angel more, obviously. Firefly's freaking amazing, and one of those things that we just lost because fuck the 90s,
No, dude, we lost it because of Fox. Because Fox has always had a problem with sci-fi shows.
Yeah, they have.
I mean,
I think Dollhouse would have ran longer on another channel too.
Yeah, well, the bad thing about Fox is they like to run shows with episodes out of order.
Yeah, and
really hardcore.
It's like the first 3 episodes they didn't show it or something like that.
Like what was that show? Almost Human.
Oh yeah,
I love that show, dude. I loved it.
Great show.
It was a good buddy cop show. But
it was a good buddy cop show, and both those guys are tremendous actors. They're tremendous film actors.
Yeah.
And I watched every episode of that. I thought it was awesome.
But they aired them out of order.
Yep.
And that's the big problem is you watch one week and then you watch it another week and you're like, wait a minute, what happened here?
Oh, well, now I understand why he doesn't like robots.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took 5 episodes to explain that, and it really shouldn't have.
That's Fox. That's why Firefly didn't do any good, because once it hit DVD and everybody watched the episodes in continuity of order,
Chronological.
Yeah, chronological order.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
There was a Civil War. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was with Empire Film Podcast. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And obviously Joss had some problems with Marvel going into making decisions about the film. Particularly, he notes that the dreams and the farmhouse were things he fought to keep. The dreams that Wanda was putting in their heads on the ship, which is the biggest throwback to the Age of Ultron comic, because the Age of Ultron comic is this is the world that it's almost like a what if comic. In its initial run, it was if Ultron took over, how would the world be? We can time travel and fix it. It was like Avengers: Days of Future Past originally in the comics, but then obviously they couldn't make a film just like that after Days of Future Past come out, and also it's kind of hard to do that with a Marvel film in this day and age because they do have, like Joss was fighting to do, they do have like Kevin Feige and Joe Quesada. Fucking love those guys, but they have an initiative. They have a
goal.
Yeah, they have a goal and a game plan, and they have to be like, well, we can't do anything that crazy right now because we need to get to this point.
Right.
We need, and I think, remember what? I brought this up the other day to someone. I think I was talking to you, that I feel like Civil War has spoiled everything else that's going to come out. It's like Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, as soon as people found out that Captain America 3 was going to be Captain America Civil War, everybody was like, okay, we're kind of psyched about Avengers Age of Ultron, but everybody was talking about Civil, and has been since then.
Right.
Can't wait to see Civil War. For good reasons. Obviously, the Russo brothers coming back. Everybody loved Winter Soldier, and if they're going to make a war film, I mean, dude, it's going to be great. Well,
okay, but the thing is, you couldn't do Age of Ultron like you did in the comic book because you got to condense it down to like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
It's not like a 12.
You can't do like huge run.
Yeah.
Of,
you don't have enough
comics books. You don't
have enough characters.
No, you don't have enough Marvel characters actually in the MCU in terms of their own studio.
Yeah.
That they actually own, and that was in that comic book. Avengers storyline.
Yeah, because it's like everybody's in it, and then they most of them die, and I think like Captain Marvel and a couple of them are like these, this resistance group against Ultron, and the world has ended, and
so you can't do all that. You can't do all that. So they had to condense it down, and there was something you've posted on Facebook about the spoilers of Age of Ultron, like about a week ago, and one of your friends said, well, why didn't they just introduce Hank Pym and make him the creator of Ultron? It's MCU, not it's not the comic book version.
It's not Marvel 616.
And I liked the fact that Tony Stark was the creator of Ultron. I liked the fact that they made him kind of like the Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Of the group.
Well, it adds to Tony's hubris and why like him and Steve could go at it at a certain point, because they do in that film, in that part of the film when they're at Hawkeye's farm, they're chopping the wood.
Right.
That's leading tension. That's the tension leading to the showdown between those two.
Yeah, that's tension. That's like lovers' tension.
Because like Cap takes that log and rips it apart.
Maybe they should just have sex and get it over with.
Just fucking, dude.
Just fucking get over it, dude. Just come on.
Just go.
Just
you guys
go.
Just need to go.
Nobody's gonna judge. Just go off into the woods somewhere. Nobody's gonna say a word.
Oh, there was some fangirls losing their minds. Right? Yeah.
Man,
the slash fiction's already it's already out there. I mean, we know that this Tony Steve thing's a huge deal.
Yeah,
it's like Stucky, Steve and Bucky.
I mean, who's the actor that does Captain America again?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah. Chris Evans.
He's awesome.
God, why can't I remember his name?
Snowpiercer.
Chris Evans has already came out and said he thinks that Captain America's a virgin. So
he's a virgin?
Yeah, a virgin.
I think so.
Really? No, come on.
I think so.
No.
I don't think he had sex with Peggy.
No, he didn't have to have sex with Peggy, but come on, once he was famous as Captain America, you don't think he got laid?
Okay, I mean, like, maybe, but...
When he's doing that traveling show,
Yeah, there is quite a bit of time there.
Quite a bit of space between him becoming Captain America and him actually becoming Captain America.
Yeah, it's like a year of the war.
Yeah,
because Bucky and his unit gets...
Yeah.
And the first Avenger, Bucky and his unit gets captured, and that's when they did the tests on him.
So we're going off on a tangent anyway.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Age of Ultron. We gotta get back on Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Okay.
Age of Ultron.
It just felt like they weren't taking any risk. I mean, to me, really, well, I didn't do like you said to do the other day, which was watch Avengers 1 and then watch Age of Ultron. Right. I didn't do that yet, so...
It does help.
Maybe if I do that, I'll be like, oh, well, wait a minute here. It's not exactly the same movie.
But it's a lot different.
But it does feel...
There is...
When you have a break from Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you watch Age of Ultron, you're like, it's kind of the same film. It kind of hits on the same tropes, you know?
It does. It follows, like I was saying, those Joss tropes. Like, you know the whole time that there's a gun being held to every character that's somewhat expendable's head.
Yeah. The only difference this time is they were setting up for future projects.
Yeah.
Which
so
was
you know
what was Joss Whedon was bitching about. Was you know.
Because like Thor.
Yeah.
Like the scene with the pond.
Yeah.
Was not supposed to even be in the movie. It was just supposed to be referenced verbally. And, of course, that didn't work. Because he filmed it, and then test audiences didn't like it. And then he was like, okay, I'll take it out. And they were like, no, keep it in. And he was like, okay, I'm going to keep it in now. And then they were like, no, take it out when it was done.
Right.
He was like, dude, guys, I'm done. I'm sorry, but it's in there. And, you know, that whole... Don't get me wrong, I liked that scene. I didn't like the part with him being in the pond. I thought that they could have just... That could have been in that part with Scarlet Witch when she was giving away dreams.
Yeah, it was really tacked on.
It's like, this is going to be Ragnarok.
Yeah.
We already know that's coming.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to bring Idris Elba and not Tom Hiddleston, which we found out that they did bring Tom in. Mm-hmm. Or they wrote the whole thing. They were going to bring Tom in, and they couldn't because they thought... Marvel said they couldn't get him. Joss actually ended up getting him. They didn't film it, or they did film... I don't know if they did film it or not, because they haven't said that on here. But there's there's two parts to the dream that's supposed to be during the Wanda scene. Mm. Where Idris is doing his whole, like, Revenant Mortal Kombat look with the glowing eyes, like Quan Chi's controlling him. And he's like, oh, Ragnarok happened. You weren't here. And the second part of his dream is Loki was supposed to be leading him around, and Marvel was like, no, we can't do that. Why not? I want Loki in everything.
maybe I don't know, maybe Marvel's gotten this like Loki sickness or something. I don't know.
There has been
we like him, but we don't know if there's like any fanboys out there that are like us. I love Loki. He was the best part of the Avengers. I mean, really.
Dude, the fan base is huge for Loki. Like, I see so much stuff on Twitter about Loki all the time. There's all these subreddits of Loki. And Tom Hiddleston Loki, too.
Right.
Hiddles, as the girls call him. There's all that, like, there's DeviantArt pages, just artists that just, it's all about Loki. He's almost became a Deadpool Joker type character.
So the love's there.
Oh, yeah, the love's there.
They didn't want to bring him into it, but...
I don't see why.
Isn't he supposed to be in Civil War?
I'm sure.
I see pictures of him in Civil War, or was it something else? I know he's supposed to be in the next Thor movie. I believe so.
Oh, he'll be in Ragnarok. Yeah, because at the end of Thor 2, he takes the throne and starts posing as Odin. And Anthony Hopkins all but confirmed that he's dead right now. That Odin is dead. Yeah, he blew the... Oh, man. He, accidentally said the wrong thing. He was like, oh, Odin's dead. He's gone. I was like... Really?
How do you kill a god?
Well, I think that he just goes into the Odin sleep. I think basically it's like an extended Odin sleep. And of course in Ragnarok they're going to kill a lot of gods. Mm-hmm. Basically they're almost setting this up so where they can get rid of, which they already have kind of, but so they can get rid of a lot of the original roster of the Avengers, and you can feel that in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So that the new Avengers can take a hold of the reins of the Avengers until the Infinity War. Because they did say that everybody's going to be in Infinity War, even past characters, some even dead characters, which I'm pretty sure means Aaron Johnson will get a call to be Quicksilver again.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! I told you earlier.
He was riddled with bullets at the end of Age of Ultron. Spoiler alert!
Like I said too, Joss said that they didn't want him to kill him, and he stuck to his guns. And they said that, and they signed off on it at the end. But he did film a scene with him being alive.
Well, they didn't film a scene of his funeral either, so
right.
They
filmed a scene. The last scene when it shows the new Avengers show up.
Yeah.
Quicksilver's supposed to be there in a other edit. but they took Aaron Johnson out, and I think if they'd have left in like what he's talking about here, or what he was talking about with him being a pussy hound, like they had these more scenes of Quicksilver being like a ladies' man,
right,
and like just being a general douchebag,
right.
I think that would have pushed that home more. Like that, they would have built the character up also, but also that the fact that him and Hawkeye obviously were having problems with each other the whole film, and because it was the constant like, what, you didn't see that coming joke that was going on.
Yeah, well, but in I hate to bring up other Marvel universes here, but in the animated universe, which my kids watch.
Yeah. Talking about the Disney XD stuff?
Yeah, me.
Your kids watch me. I just watched it earlier, man.
Yeah. So, surprise, I watch cartoons. Anyway, in that stuff, Hawkeye's a ladies' man, and he's kind of like this, just grandiose kind of flaunty character, like he just thinks he's just the cock of the walk, and I mean he's always hitting on Black Widow, he's always hitting on other females and stuff. He just, so to me it's sort of like, well, okay, maybe Quicksilver and him don't get along because maybe when Hawkeye was younger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe continuity, he was like that. Hawkeye we see in the cartoon, he just kind of grew up a little bit.
Yeah, because you can tell when like they go to the farm, and spoilers, they meet his wife and kids. That obviously the kids are young.
Yeah.
So this hasn't been like a long time going, but they do call like Natasha Aunt Natasha.
Yeah.
Like, or Aunt Nat or something like that, and that's why it explains like, okay, they have this relationship, but they probably in the past had another relationship.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm almost damn sure that they did. This is just fanboy stuff, like they'll never probably go into. But yeah, I feel like Quicksilver was kind of like taking his thunder.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't like that because Hawkeye's kind of got like I said in this movie, they really pushed Hawkeye and the Vision. Yeah. I thought that was a good decision too, because these are the new Avengers. These are your new guys. And there's one scene that I realize now that we're talking about this, I just thought about it. Going back to close to the end of Age of Ultron, when Pietro comes and grabs Scarlet Witch and speeds off with her, and Hawkeye's standing there with his bow drawn. He's like, I could do it right now. Mm-hmm. I could kill him right now. No one would know.
Yeah.
He died in battle, man. I don't know what happened. It was funny as shit, but also it makes more sense now that I think about it, if they'd had a few more scenes with like those two, like kind of having a bit of banter.
Yeah. That's what made Avengers fun, was the banter between the characters. And Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, and the playfulness that Tony Stark and Bruce Banner have with each other. Being
Science
best friends. Yeah. And like Thor and everybody else, because Thor's just like Drax almost. Yeah. He's not stupid, but he's kind of like
very literal.
Yeah, very literal kind of warrior type kind of character, and anytime he has banter with any of the other characters, this is hilarious because he's taking it totally literally. Yeah. But
he never says. He's not said it yet, I don't think. If anyone knows this, please let me know. He's not said verily in any of the movies. His catchphrase, like when he's verily in the comics and in the cartoons and stuff, he's not said that. He's not said any like very Shakespearean things.
In the movie, he's less. And I know it's a really bad word to say, but he's less retarded than he is in the comics.
Yeah, he is.
In the cartoons
and the comics, the 616 universe.
The 616 universe, and he's a lot less. He's a lot less Shakespearean than he is in the cartoons.
Doth mother know that you weareth her drapes?
Yeah. I mean, he's only got a few lines like that. In Avengers 1 especially, when he's talking to his brother. Yeah. Anytime he's talking to Loki, he's very Shakespearean.
Well, it's supposed to be.
Very, Shakespearean. Very...
That whole story is.
Yeah. It's very dramatic, very Shakespearean. Yeah. It's like, But, yeah...
That's why they broke, like in the first Avengers, they broke that.
Yeah.
I hate saying the first Avengers because I feel like that when I say that, people are thinking I'm saying Captain America.
Right.
I mean, like, the Avengers film that came out before this one.
Yeah. Because God knows there's other Avengers films besides Age of Ultron.
Right.
I mean,
there's two.
There's
more with the title Avenger in it, but I'm saying Avengers, plural. In Age of Ultron, in the first one, he says they're having that very serious conversation. Time out. Hey. We're recording. I forgot to tell you because you were asleep.
I wasn't asleep.
I thought you were. You look dead. Anyway, go through that way, please. Okay.
That'd have been my dad. He would have beat me for saying that. So you know, if I had asked my dad to go through the other way,
he knows I'm joking now.
Oh, okay.
Back on.
Okay.
And so, anyway, like they're having that very serious conversation, Loki and Thor are, and suddenly it gets like, he's like, and I will do, like Thor's about to say what he would do to Loki, and then suddenly you kind of just see Thor get swept away by Iron Man, and Loki's like, and you'll what? Like, you know, it's like, continue, and Loki always has like that, just that extra bit, he always gets the last word in. That's why I love like Tom Hiddleston as Loki, because he's very funny, but he rounds that character out so well, man. I really do wish that, I really hope to see a director's cut of this movie eventually with that scene with Tom Hiddleston.
Right.
But anyway, I mean, I really liked the movie, and getting off my Hawkeye bandwagon that I've been on for like 2 weeks, and going on to my second bandwagon.
My male crush on Hawkeye.
Jesus, it's bad.
It's like, oh God, Hawkeye.
I'm sorry, but it is like that. I'm so bad about it. The Vision, Paul Bettany as the Vision. I didn't see any of that coming. None of it.
What? Wait a minute. You didn't see Paul Bettany as
No, I
Vision?
did see him as the Vision, but I saw it being very CGI. I thought it would be very CGI.
No, dude. I read a shit ton of stuff about Paul Bettany as the Vision. He said he's in the film. I mean, he's in the film.
What was it? Time out. I can pause this, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just hit unpause, and that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's how that works. So yeah, I didn't know about that though. I mean, I'd seen like a little bit of it, but I didn't know that they were going to do like full prosthesis the whole time.
Oh yeah, dude.
Full makeup.
Yeah, I read about all the dude. Yeah.
Was that not impressive?
That was. I loved it. I love Vision. I know what's going to happen to him. It kind of sucks, you know.
It's like as soon as they put that Mind Stone.
Yeah, they're like, well, we just screwed Vision up for the Infinity Wars. I mean,
as soon as they put that on his head, I was like, well, he's got to die.
Yeah, he'll be in Civil War, but as soon as he might live through the third Avengers movie.
Have you ever read the Infinity Gauntlet? The story?
No.
Okay. There's a character called Adam Warlock. And I'm pretty sure they're going to bring him in.
I think they're going to change him with Doctor Strange.
I think that's what I was going to say. I think Doctor Strange is going to take that precedence. And I think that since they don't have Surfer, they're going to use a less powered Vision without the Mind Stone. And they'll both be inside the Mind Stone doing that work that Adam Warlock needs to do. Because, Doctor Strange is all about opening dimensions, and it's about dimensional stuff, and I feel like that maybe they won't kill the Vision, but he'll be like a nerfed Vision.
My prediction is what's going to happen is like right at the end of the first film, the first Avengers Infinity War film, you're going to have a scene where Thanos goes to get that stone and just rips it out of his head, and that'll probably be like the closing cinematic,
Yeah.
The closing cinematic for that movie.
The stinger.
Yeah, the stinger right at the end of that. It's going to be like, oh man. Oh, God. Yeah. Paul Bettany was so good. It's Vision. Oh, God. Oh, it hurts so bad.
But since he's like the way he is, and he has the ability to do the things that Ultron could do, as well as the things that...
you mean download him to another body?
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, his consciousness just
I could see that
goes out there.
I could see that. But
I feel like Tony would have backed him up, too, at this point. Like, Jarvis... Which, like, you know, the Vision said, I'm not Jarvis.
Yeah, he had a different AI in his suit, though.
Yeah.
After Jarvis was inside of the Vision.
Well, he said, I'm not Jarvis and I'm not Ultron.
Yeah.
I am... He said something great, actually. He said, I am not Jarvis and I am not Ultron. I am.
Yeah.
Which is very biblical.
Yeah. It's very Christ-like. It's like
very godlike, because that's what he said to Moses out of the burning bush.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, he just said I am. Like, I was like, I know what Joss is doing there, because he likes to put that stuff in there.
Yeah.
And they did make him very messianic too, like savior-like.
Yeah.
He was very, like you said, Christ-like.
He didn't want to fight, but he had to fight, you know, because he knew that not destroying Ultron would destroy the rest of the human race.
It's like the warrior Gandhi of superheroes.
You know, yeah.
Because he's like, I'm all about life.
Right.
Here's your hammer, Thor.
Yeah.
Shit.
That was a pretty funny scene.
It's been a while since I've been watching a movie in a theater with people, and I hear about 10 people at the same time go, oh shit!
Yeah.
Because
they
literally all had the same reaction I did to seeing Vision holding the hammer. When they push that the whole movie, like, you're not worthy, you're not worthy, you're not worthy. You know, oh, there's a trick to it. Cap budged it.
Yeah, Cap budged it. He was getting nervous too.
Yeah.
Thor was like, oh shit! Oh shit!
Thor has this look, his face drops.
Yeah, he's like, oh hell no.
He doesn't say anything
though.
Like, I hope he didn't notice. Like, no one else noticed but Thor. It just squeaked a little. Like,
yeah.
But it was enough to make Thor go,
yeah.
Okay, you're almost worthy.
He was about to shit his britches on that one.
Yeah. But overall, I think Age of Ultron is a great...
yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, it's a great movie.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie.
It's a great
movie.
Way. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. I'll say it's a great movie. I'll agree with you. It's a great movie. But he didn't have to have all the tie-in stuff.
Yeah, and obviously Joss was fighting to get rid of that, and I understand where he had those problems. So anyway, yeah, I really liked Age of Ultron. I liked the fact that they tied it in with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a way where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could do it, and they didn't have to do it in the film.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we gave him the helicarrier.
Yeah.
That's the Theta Protocol.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So they were planning on it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this whole time.
Yeah.
Because they've been pushing that Theta Protocol.
Well, you know, like you said, it's ran through 2 people now, so I mean, you know, and they're like overseeing the whole entire, from the TV to the movies, cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Everything's tied in together.
Well, you have Joe Quesada, who's editor-in-chief of just Marvel Comics, and you have Kevin Feige, who's the editor of Marvel Cinematic Universe, working together now.
Yeah.
And between those two, you know, because, like, they're even restarting Marvel.
Yeah.
As far as the 616 continuity, it's like they're deleting that. Everything's coming back to one big story that's contained within...
Well, we'll get on that.
Yeah.
We'll get on that when we talk about the movies, because there's a lot of things with that I need to talk about, too.
Right.
You know?
I did want to bring up Andy Serkis, though, about, like, how they, you know, Claw. They're bringing Hannibal Claw or whatever. They're bringing him in with, you know, they mentioned Wakanda.
That's the problem I have with that movie. It's just all...
Go ahead.
It's tying it into too many things going down the line. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we're going to make a movie about the Age of Ultron, but then we're going to tie in Black Panther, we're going to tie in Ragnarok, we're going to tie in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're going to tie in this, that, and the other. It's a tie fest. You know, it's like they're trying to tie in so many damn different things.
I know.
It don't have its own identity. You know?
And, well, like I said, it also is suffering from Civil War disorder that I brought up. Like, there's just so many people got so psyched about Civil War that it's like, who gives a shit about Age of Ultron? Like, oh, Ultron, who cares, man? Tony Stark and Steve Rogers are going to fight.
Who gives a shit? We're going to see the battle of the century.
Yeah, really.
You know?
I mean, this is like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather too.
Right. So we've talked about Age of Ultron till we're blue in the face. If you guys haven't seen it, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I mean, really, there's something wrong with you.
Why are you even listening to this podcast? Go.
Really, go. Just Just pause it and just go watch the movie. There's something wrong with you. We're not saying it's a bad movie. Just go. Let's go.
Get out of here and watch it, man.
Okay, so
tell me your opinion. Damn.
The titular end for Phase 2 is Ant-Man.
Right.
Okay. That's the titular end.
Ooh.
Everybody keeps saying it's... What was that?
Ooh. I was just thinking about it. Like, there's so much mystery.
Yeah. Everybody's saying it's a Phase 3 movie. It's not.
No.
It's not a Phase 3 movie. It's a Phase 2 movie.
And that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody understands, I don't think. Like, nobody really realizes how big that could be because, obviously, there's going to be a lot more going on in Ant-Man than people think. Because if it's an end of a Phase 2 movie, then... Okay, do you remember... I've heard this several times brought up, and I'm just bringing this up just because... But they're going to, like... There's, like, Hank Pym has been Ant-Man for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he's been doing work in the suit. The suit gets stolen, and Scott Lang has to go steal it back. Right? So, cool. He's here. I told him to come down in a minute. But, yeah, so Scott Lang steals the fucking suit back.
Yeah.
Puts it on, becomes the new Ant-Man. And that's going to be what this movie's about. So... Okay, like, if they're doing that, then are they going to go back and, like, show, like, these little snippets from, like, other Marvel movies and be like, you didn't see Ant-Man, but he was right there on the wall.
Well, we already know that. We already know that the one who played Agent Carter, what's her name? Help me out here.
You mean Peggy Carter from the movies?
Yeah,
Or do you mean
Agent Carter?
Agent Carter? I don't know her name.
Okay, all right.
I feel terrible. I'll think of it in a minute.
Yeah.
I do know her name. It just...
Okay, so we already know Agent Carter is going to be in the film.
You mean
yeah.
Sharon Carter, Agent 13.
No.
Peggy is going to be
Peggy.
in the 1940s?
Peggy Carter.
They're going to go back...
Because we've done seen, like, snippets of the Vietnam, like, era.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in the trailer.
So that makes sense, yeah.
So she's going to be in it. They've already casted her in it.
That's right, yeah.
So... There's going to be, like, these little tie-ins to, like, Captain America. There's going to be these little tie-ins to, like, pre-Avengers.
And probably even during.
And probably even during Avengers stuff going on. You know?
And they get to introduce...
Or S.H.I.E.L.D.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. I mean...
They get to introduce Pym particles.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a whole new ballgame. Because that's going to be like, well, stuff can shrink and get bigger now.
Yeah.
We have the ability to make that a big mess whenever we want it. I mean, they can throw that story idea into just about anything, any movie. Like, oh well, there's some Pym particles loose again. Yeah, shit. I don't think it's lazy. I don't think that Pym particles is lazy. I just think that it happens a lot. But I do like. I love the casting of Paul Rudd as Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Because like in the comics, that's how Scott Lang is. He's a rude and crude dude with attitude, and like, but he's funny, and you know, he's an ex-thief, he's an ex-con, but he's got a heart, he has a family, which I remember when I first saw that, I was like, wow, people are going to really connect with this character. He's the first one of the superheroes with a family. Never mind, Hawkeye did it. I didn't see that coming, though. Nobody saw the farm scene coming.
I might be pronouncing her name completely wrong, but it's Haley
Atwell.
Yeah, Haley Atwell.
You just got to jog my memory, sir.
Haley Atwell. She's in the IMDb casting for Ant-Man.
Cool.
So that means we're going to have flashbacks.
Is her granddaughter going to be in it? Is Agent 13 Sharon Carter going to be in it?
I mean, let me...
Which is Emily Van Camp, I think. I think that's her name. Yeah. I like her. I hope that they do a lot of stuff with that. Like I said, they're going to have to really pull her in, Agent 13 Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
So they can give Cap a love interest. That'll be a Civil War stuff. She'll be big in Civil War. I'm glad that...
It doesn't look like she's in that movie.
She might not be.
But I know Peggy Carter's supposed to show up in that movie. So we're going to get flashbacks, and we're going to get ties of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff, like we was talking about earlier.
And we do have Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah.
Played by the awesome...
Hope Van Dyne.
Hope Van Dyne. She's called Hope in this?
Yeah. Played by Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly from Lost.
Yeah.
And The Hobbit.
Oh God, you know what? You just reminded me. Yeah, that's where I've seen her before. Mm-hmm. I was like, I've seen her before. Where have I seen her? Oh, wait a minute.
Kate from Lost and The Hobbit.
Okay, yeah. Now I know where she comes. Yeah, okay.
She's the elf princess chick in The Hobbit.
So,
which is cool.
Yeah,
she's got the action stuff down.
You have John Slattery.
John Slattery.
Yeah, he's casted as an old Howard Stark.
I think that's who they used in, the little film in Iron Man 2 where he's like...
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think that's who they used. It was like, Tony, you're my greatest creation and all that stuff. And he's showing Tony that the
It is, yeah.
Stark...
Yeah.
Yeah, so he figured out that Adam or whatever.
So, they're tying it in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot more crossing over than we think. Yeah. This is not a self-contained movie. This is not something to not get excited about.
No, this is something that's going to be tied in. They're not... Yeah, you're right. It's not a self-contained movie in its own right. It's all tying into the next Avengers movie.
And the fact that he can shrink and gain size back, people have no idea how cool these set pieces are going to be. And when there's going to be some amazing special effects in this movie. Like stuff that we've just really not got into in films a lot. And that's miniature stuff.
Right.
And I love miniature stuff. There's some older films that have a lot of stuff, like, like Gulliver's Travels and fucking Babes in Toyland. Stuff like that.
Right.
That where people get miniaturized. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's always cool. There's always an ant. I don't know why. There's always a fucking ant in everything. And I like that. And I saw the toys from Ant-Man, and in the toys, I actually saw the scale of the Ant-Man ant, and it's like huge, right? It's like 12 inches long, and he is the size of like a G.I. Joe on it,
What, Ant-Man?
Yeah, Ant-Man.
I don't think we've seen like a quarter of what we're going to see in the actual movie. We're just getting teased right now. Marvel's just giving us like one big,
Because what have we had? We had a teaser trailer and one trailer.
Yeah.
Not even like any extra doodads or anything like that.
No.
So, because like in the last trailer, we just found out about really the Yellow Jacket stuff.
Yeah.
Which...
Well, we knew about it from like, news reports and stuff, but...
Well, yeah, we knew about Yellow Jacket.
Yeah.
Just like
we didn't see him.
We didn't see him until this one.
Yeah.
So now we have proof about Yellow Jacket being the actor that's bald that I like, that's in some stuff, whatever his name is. He's not been around long enough.
I have the casting list up here. All you had to say was,
okay.
Corey Stoll.
Corey Stoll.
Corey Stoll. Yeah.
He's in that vampire show that I like.
The Strain?
The Strain.
The Strain? Come on.
Pick it up.
Come on.
Guillermo del Toro's The Strain.
Yeah.
It's just like a retelling of the Dracula story. In modern times as a plague.
Right.
And he's really good in that. Like, he's really good in that as the main character.
Yeah.
It's got this Jonathan Harker thing going on. But it's not Jonathan Harker. He's like a CDC something or another. It's good, though. That's a good show. So I like him. Yeah. And I saw him in Nonstop with Liam Neeson.
Well, he was also in that horrible Law & Order Los Angeles for a while.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was in that.
He probably forgot about it, too.
Yeah, he was in that horrible piece of shit.
Yeah, he probably forgot about it, too.
Obviously it didn't scar his career, so...
No, he's doing good.
Yeah.
He's moving up, man. So, I like him. I really do. I like him a lot. He's really... He's taken the initiative to become a... like I said, got a leading role in The Strain, like, bang, like that.
Right. Ant-Man.
Go ahead.
Okay, so... What were we talking about again? Corey Stoll?
Yeah.
Was that where we was at?
Yeah.
And,
the time frame, yeah.
Everything you've seen now.
Yeah.
That's why it's in the phase 2.
Yeah.
Because it's covering every... I don't even think it's going to take place after the Age of Ultron. I think it'll take place like either right before or during the Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Like they'll reference it or something.
Or maybe like his ultimate goal is like his ultimate reasoning to get the suit is something to help help out with that conflict that's coming.
Right.
And maybe Yellow Jacket is kind of in his way, like, you know, because he's doing other shit.
Well, you know, Hank Pym's like his Nick Fury, so
yeah,
you know, that could be a possibility.
Is it tied in with S.H.I.E.L.D? Is Hank Pym tied in with S.H.I.E.L.D. is what I'm wondering, because you know they're keeping that close to the chest, but it kind of feels like it.
I mean, you got 2 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. I mean, you got Howard Stark, you got Peggy Carter,
the 2 that started it.
Yeah, so I mean, you got them in the movie. So
Hank Pym's got to be like an early S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Yeah,
he was like the original science bro. He's the original like Banner.
Right.
See, I understand, and I know we're going to flip flop back and forth with Age of Ultron, but that's just because we have to use it because it's kind of like our milestone right now with the MCU.
Well, you got to think of Age of Ultron as like the center of a spider web.
Yeah,
and then everything else leads, you know, in and out of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like we said earlier, it's just one big tie-in movie for everything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, like with like Ant-Man, for instance, like with the Hank Pym stuff and Age of like specifically with Age of Ultron, it seems like that it you know, like everything happening in that movie is kind of building back some respect for S.H.I.E.L.D. Like obviously S.H.I.E.L.D's kind of coming back, and even on the show we can tell that like
they're starting to rebuild the organization.
Hydra's really gone.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D's being rebuilt. They've cast out pretty much everybody that they don't trust. I think there are probably a few people on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that are going to be a little wonky.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they all were, like this season was mostly them all trying to, they all thought they were doing the right thing. And so I think that they're going to lead into that. I think it kind of looks like Hope Van Dyne, which is supposed to be Janet. I don't know what that means. I can't even remember. But anyway, the Wasp. She's obviously going to be the fucking Wasp.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
yeah,
it's not even.
yeah.
It's not even like we're not. Who's playing here? She seems like a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She looks like that. She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent because there's a couple times she's in like an all black suit. Like she might be like a cat burglar or something. But I doubt that. I think she's going to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, or maybe just somebody like that works for Hank.
Yeah, well, she could be somebody working for Hank, but Hank could be like secretly working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Or Fury.
You know, or Fury himself.
Which would make more sense.
Know, because where they get all the technology from, it wasn't just Stark.
No.
I mean,
yeah.
Hank Pym's been developing technology this whole entire time.
Yeah, Stark didn't build the helicarrier all itself. I mean, Hank Pym's been working for them for a long time. And like, you know, my dad brought this up the other day that he was talking about Hank Pym and like Banner and the Science Bros and all that. He was like, well, it makes sense that Banner's like gone at the end of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
You know, that he's gone because you're about to have 2 more Science Bros in that mix already with Tony. You're going to have Hank Pym if he lives through it, but he's still going to be a part of it. And Dr. Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
You know, they even mentioned him. They name dropped him specifically in Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Well,
that he's on their list. He was on Hydra's list of people to worry about. He's a doctor,
so I mean, he's not really like this scientist.
Well, no, but he's still he's a
master of mysticism, and you know.
But before he was a master of mysticism, he was a
very
important doctor.
He was a surgeon.
A surgeon, but he also obviously was a very intelligent man that worked with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
At some point, because he's on the list with Banner. They mention Banner. They mention him. They don't mention Hank Pym, but I think that's because maybe Hank Pym is part of this. Like we were talking about, this secret war that Nick Fury's got going on under the radar the whole time.
Well, I think they really had to push for an Ant-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a real big push from
Edgar Wright's version.
You know, well, no, not only that, but big push from the fans.
No, there was.
You know, fans wanted to see this movie. You know, and the way they were talking when Avengers 1 came out, they weren't going to do an Ant-Man movie. Yeah. They weren't even going to introduce Hank Pym. They weren't going to introduce, you know,
any of those characters.
Scott Lang. They were going to do that. And now we've gotten down to an Ant-Man movie, so it's like, well, we need to scramble and try to, you know, kind of push this together as close as we can.
And see, that's what I like about the MCU is because it kind of feels like television. You know how like TV, like they're kind of writing it as they go along.
Yeah.
They'll be like 4 or 5 episodes ahead in scripts, but like just in case anything else big happens, like in the real world, that they can make jokes about or anything like that. They've got time to fit that in. It's not everything is episodic like Lost or Buffy. There's a lot of shows that are just they're episodic, but also they keep themselves not too far removed. Like Arrow. Arrow can include some kind of pop culture reference that's become relevant by the time that the 5th episode comes out.
Right.
That something maybe that happens while they're filming the second one. So by the time they write the next script, they can be relevant and kitschy and stuff. But that's what the MCU feels like, is that they're, they kind of like, well, we can do this like TV, where if we want to introduce a new character, we can plug him in and retrofit him.
Yeah.
We can retcon, as they say, retroactive continuity, where you post him, Hank Pym, and all these stories beforehand that you just didn't know about.
Right.
Like with Spider-Man, there's already a Spider-Man.
If he was S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, that would make sense, though. So, I mean,
Like, there's already a Spider-Man running around in New York City as we're talking in Marvel chronology. Right. So, he had the ability to show up in Age of Ultron, but they just didn't do it, which sucks. But, oh well. I think it'll be a cooler reveal in Civil War.
Okay, so, speaking of Civil War...
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh,
man.
Oh, let's get to Civil War.
That's what everybody wants.
Yeah, everybody wants the,
We don't give a shit about Ant-Man.
We don't care about Ant-Man. What the hell are you talking about, guys?
Ultron.
I mean, shit.
You're not telling me anything I don't know except for that Joss Whedon thing. That might be cool.
Yeah, right? So, here we go with Civil War.
Yeah.
We've got, okay... a lot to go over with Civil War.
Well, first off, they released the casting.
All the casting.
Well,
yeah.
A lot of the casting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not locked, but they released like the main characters, and they released like a little synopsis, which I guess everybody knows what that is. I don't have to go into it.
Anybody who doesn't read the comic books should know. Anybody who reads the comic books should know what the synopsis is.
Yeah, and anybody who doesn't has already looked it up enough times because they're wondering what the hell they're talking
about.
They're
like, ooh, these two guys are going to go down. Tony Stark and Steve Rogers is going to...
They're going to fight.
Bust heads, man.
I mean, I know that they're removing it a bit from the comics as far as I don't think it's going to be as much about superhero registration as it's about accountability.
Well, isn't that what Tony Stark was kind of alluding to?
Well, initially, but
in Age of Ultron,
yeah,
I mean, really,
in Age of Ultron, I was about to say. I mean, he's talking about accountability, and that's why he was wanting to build Ultron,
right?
So they didn't have to fight, so they could go home. That's what he said. He said, so we can go home, and then Cap's going to throw at him, well, you created Ultron. So how are you accountable for shit? You should be accountable for those actions because you destroyed Sokovia. You destroyed, almost destroyed the entire world with Ultron.
And I think that's going to bear a lot of weight on Iron Man's soul.
No, it will.
Going into Civil War.
And
because in Iron Man 3, just going into that wormhole bared a lot of weight on his soul.
Yeah.
Almost
having the panic attacks.
Yeah, almost killing everybody on that island. And almost creating like this world-ending catastrophe.
Yeah, doomsday
is going to bear down on his soul pretty badly, and he's going to be like, "Oh, well, we need to really register or something."
Yeah, I think it'll be about accountability. I don't know if they'll do the whole like everybody needs to unmask thing. I don't know if they'll do that. I kind of hope they do.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that is
there's not been enough time, right?
Captain America doesn't fight with his mask on anyway, so I mean, 90% of Age of Ultron and 90% of Winter Soldier, he ain't got his mask on, so
it's just Chris Evans.
It's just Chris Evans in a Captain America suit. And
Which
it's like
we talked about that. I like it better that way. He does look cooler.
So okay, let's see. Now maybe they might swap that out. Where Captain America is on pro registration side,
right?
And Tony Stark is not.
Yeah,
but that wouldn't make any sense. No, just forget I even said that because Tony Stark came out and said he was Iron Man. So I mean, that wouldn't make any sense at all.
He was the one that started.
Yeah, he was the one that started that. So it's gonna push. He's gonna push. I think they'll go with the registration thing. I think they have to because I mean, if it's just about accountability,
well then
what are they fighting about?
Right,
it's like,
bro.
Which, and we already know it's like Avengers 2.5. We already know that.
Oh, yeah, it is. We're like, okay.
All the new Avengers are in it, so.
Yeah. We have,
at least we'll be able to see the Vision one more time.
Right. Because it's Steve and Natasha and Bucky and Barton and
Scott Lang.
First time he'll be in
Black Panther.
Black Panther, Division,
Yeah.
Falcon, War Machine.
Yep, War Machine.
And Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And maybe Quicksilver. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't see them bringing him back, but I've been surprised before.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a funeral scene for him, so, you know.
Well,
but
Whedon likes to kill people and Marvel likes to bring them back.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah. Marvel likes to bring them back a lot. Like, but yeah, William Hurt. Almost forgot about that. Forgot about that.
I ain't forgetting about
William Hurt as General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm really excited about that was shocking to me. That was the like when I and they just kind of threw that in at the end, like, and at the end of the article.
By the way, we're having Thunderbolt Ross in here. Well, okay.
I'm like, okay, this is interesting because the last time he was involved with this, the S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers Initiative was just pushing him right out of his like little world because he was like, I need to stop the Hulk, and they were like, look, man, we got this covered. You don't even know what's going on.
Yeah,
you're stupid.
And see, the thing about it is, the Hulk is not even mentioned in the cast. I mean,
no, he's not gonna show up.
There's no mention of voice. Even if they did like a full CG Hulk, okay, there would still be a voice of Lou Ferrigno in the casting.
Like that,
something would be in the casting details. Nothing's there.
No.
So that makes me think that Thunderbolt Ross is going to be the Red Hulk.
They could do Red Hulk. Yeah.
I would like to see that. I would like to see Red Hulk.
I want to see Red Hulk.
You know,
smarter, using guns.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even in the Civil War comic, you know, they had to get rid of the Hulk before they could have the Civil War. The Illuminati guys, which was like Reed Richards, Professor Xavier, Namor, Black Bolt, those guys, like the dudes that are behind Black Panther, the dudes that are like the Illuminati in the Marvel Universe. They were like, we have to send Hulk and Tony. We have to send Hulk off planet.
Yeah.
And so they did before the Civil War ever started. They knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I said at the end of Age of Ultron, I'm pretty sure when that plane, because they said the plane splashed down in the Atlantic or whatever, or the Pacific, I don't know, it was an ocean.
Yeah.
But he's not in it, and they don't see Banner anywhere, so, like, he ejected in space as the Hulk, and he's just like, whee! And he ends up on a planet, whatever, they might do that. But the point is that he's not in Civil War.
No.
Ever.
So it begs the question, why is Thunderbolt there? You know?
Why would he care?
Yeah. Why would he give a shit?
I don't know. I think, I hope that they do a Red Hulk thing. They don't have to. Obviously, you know, it's William Hurt. He's awesome. I'm excited. I'm just excited to see what they do with it. I'm glad that, obviously, Frank Grillo is back as Crossbones, because I like that guy. He was a good bad guy. He was cool, man. Like, he was... I knew the way they were going for it in Winter Soldier, and then... Because when they said Brock Rumlow... I remember, like, I was sitting in the theater, and there was
okay, yeah.
There was, like, 3 or 4 of us that went,
yeah.
Oh, man, that's Crossbones.
Yeah, he's a good villain. He's a good villain.
Like, okay, they can do more with that. That's cool. Like, and he got hurt, which makes him kind of crazy.
Right.
Makes him more crazy. That's awesome, because he was already a savage and just a stone cold killer. Which could be said about half of S.H.I.E.L.D. anyway.
So they're bringing back Hawkeye too.
Yeah.
So,
and
spoiler alert, if anybody hasn't seen Avengers Age of Ultron, he's not in the movie.
Hawkeye's not dead.
He's not dead. He leaves the team at the very end of the movie.
Yeah. He is pretty much like the new Avengers leader. They're dolling him and Natasha up to be...
I don't know about that, because he's sort of that family guy.
Yeah.
You know, he don't really want to be there, but he has to be there.
Yeah.
He's duty bound. He's honor bound.
He's wanting his war to end.
Yeah. But, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is like the Cartman of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Now, you know.
Yeah.
Or I mean, the Kenny of Kenny of Marvel movies now.
And Martin Freeman is in the cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have a theory.
I have a really weird theory about that. I mean, nobody else is going to agree with me on that because he's not Chinese or anything like that. But I think he's playing Wong. I really think so. I think so. I think you're going to see him and not Doctor Strange. Or if you do see Doctor Strange, it's going to be like briefly because he's not in the casting at all.
They would definitely be like, Benedict Cumberbatch is in this movie.
By the way, the Cumberbatch is coming in here.
Yeah, I mean they don't leave Cumberbatch out of stuff.
No,
that's a big draw.
No, and so I think what you're going to see is like him, like I don't know, like as a envoy or something or Doctor Strange,
like a Coulson.
Like a Coulson,
like how Coulson was in Iron Man.
Yeah, I think you're going to see him as Wong. I mean, I would. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
That would be cool.
That's what I'm hoping for because he works so good with him in Sherlock.
And you can just make him like a. You don't have to give him that name.
Well, I mean, do you understand how many people is going to be like, if they make a Doctor Strange movie and they have Wong as a Chinese guy, how many people is going to go outraged because it's so racist? It's like,
he's kind of racist.
Racist.
The character's racist in general.
Racist.
He's got like the knot hair, like the Shaolin monk.
He talks in the Chinese dialect, the racist Chinese dialect, and.
They might be making a better decision than Martin Freeman.
Oh, think that'd be a good idea, Mr. Strange. Me don't think that'd be a good idea. I mean, just talks in that,
You're right.
$5 me no holler, kind of dialect.
So bad.
Yeah,
I really do hope that. Now I kind of hope that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing.
They would change him to like a British guy because that's what Martin Freeman is. He's British, but
definitely British. Very British man.
Very British. So he can be like. I don't know.
He doesn't have to do a British accent. I've heard him do it.
No, he does. He does a great American accent. He does a great. Did you see him in what is the name of that damn series? God, it was right there on the tip of my tongue.
Something he did.
Fargo.
Yeah.
Did you see him in
Gosh,
Fargo?
darn it. Yeah.
Does that accent so good? I believed every bit of it.
Oh yeah.
And then to see him in an interview, he's got that deep British accent. It's like, this guy's uncanny. I mean, Martin Freeman really is. I mean. I really like him as an actor.
I hope that he comes into a role kind of like how Benedict Cumberbatch came into a role this last year with the Imitation Game, where like Martin Freeman gets to flex his acting chops and gets like a nomination at least.
Right.
And he's got that ability.
Right.
He's kind of like that Rosario Dawson character.
Yeah, he does have that star power, but he's like right there at it.
They just don't get nominated.
Yeah, he's just right there.
They need the right role to push them into that territory. And because they're like the glove that holds things together in a lot of their stories.
Right.
They just need the right role.
So, okay. Not only we're going to talk about the MCU movies, but Marvel movies in general. Okay, so Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
The only thing we know about that is Benedict Cumberbatch, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the only thing you need to know. I mean, really.
Well, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Because it adds another level to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because with the movies up until Guardians, we had Earth-level heroes, except basically Thor, who took it into a bit of cosmic, but not too much cosmic.
Well, they try to explain that in a scientific manner too.
Yeah.
They went with the Marvel Ultimate version of Thor.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like scientific in a way.
Science meets magic.
It's not magic.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange is just going to be full on magic.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Magic and dimensions.
Yeah.
I mean,
so all this thing that MCU's been building, that magic doesn't exist within this universe. That Phil Coulson. I've heard Phil Coulson say it numerous times on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard. Them talk about on the Avengers and talk about it, here and there and everywhere. All that's blown out the window because Doctor Strange is,
Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, and they built up. Guardians opened up the cosmic world for people to come and make movies now out in space that don't have anything to do with the MCU standard.
Right.
And
I'm still waiting on the Star Wars Guardians crossover, by the way. I mean, I'm still waiting on that one.
Amazing.
That would be so awesome. But anyway, Doctor Strange. I'm sorry. You mentioned it. I had to get it out there.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys doing here? It can happen. It can happen.
Right.
Don't think it won't happen.
Well, they're all owned by Disney, so
in their wheelhouse.
It can happen.
Doc Strange, though, opens up the magical world and the dimensional stuff, which nobody but Thor knows about a lot of this shit, obviously, because he knows about the Infinity Stones and stuff. Like, he's got a pretty good knowledge about this stuff. Nobody else does, except for what Tony just barely peered into through the wormhole. I was going to bring that up earlier because it's important that none of the other Avengers besides Tony has that constantly in his head that he saw the other side. He saw what he said in the Avengers. That's the end game. The Avengers Age of Ultron. He's like, that up there, that's what's important. That's the end game. That's where this is all heading. And he's right.
Right.
He just doesn't really get what that is yet. He's trying to. That's why he created Ultron to assess threats. And to activate on those threats. That's where all this is heading. I mean, it's true, but that spot right there with the wormhole opening, that's Doc Strange territory too, because it's interdimensional kind of travel.
Right.
It's folding space and stuff, and he's into all that stuff. He's going to be traveling through dimensions, and hopefully they'll bring in not just Mephisto, which is Satan.
Yeah, the devil.
But what's his name? Big guy, big demon. So yeah, they can bring in Dormammu, and I'm sure they will, and that'll be part of the story. They can do Mephisto, like kind of controlling Dormammu or whatever. They don't have to do Mephisto. They can just do Dormammu, or they may do something different. I don't know. But the point is, they're opening up this magical realm,
right,
where people can come and make some really dark Marvel stuff too. Like they can, between that and what's going on with Daredevil at Netflix and all that stuff, the Defenders stuff, they've got this ability to grab onto the dark and the mystical side of things and make some like dark arts films. They could do they can revamp Blade, they could do Moon Knight, they could do, or those guys will probably get series or something. I don't know.
I would say probably Netflix would probably pick that up. Actually, Blade already had a series that kind of bombed, but
it wasn't
controlled by the MCU, of course.
It wasn't Kevin. I think Kevin. I don't know if Kevin Feige had anything to do with it. I don't remember.
No,
I think that was Avi Arad still.
Yeah, it was
during his era of. Avi Arad was trying.
It wasn't a bad series. It just didn't have a lot of power behind it. It
didn't feel connected.
Yeah, it didn't have the support it needed because it was still when Marvel was still its own company.
Yeah.
It wasn't Disney yet.
Yeah, they were doling it out to other people.
Yeah, it didn't have that Disney support,
which has helped them a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that, like I said before, everybody was freaking out when Disney, swallowed up Marvel and Star Wars and the Star Wars stuff, the Lucasfilm stuff, actually, not Star Wars, Lucasfilm.
Yeah, Lucasfilm.
I have to be very specific about that. Because that's
the only thing that came out of that aftermath. And I know we're getting on a tangent about Lucasfilm right in a second, but we'll get back to the Doctor Strange here in a second. The only thing that came out of the aftermath of that disappointed me was the Boba Fett game that they were working on.
It just got
canned. And I was like, man, really?
But
I mean,
we're gonna end up with the Boba Fett movie, so
right. But still, it would be cool to play a bounty hunter.
Yeah. Oh no, I want a bounty hunter game. And don't think that that's not like.
Right.
They just threw it away.
Right. They probably still have some cliff notes or something from somewhere.
They're gonna tie in their stuff to it and probably make it.
Right.
They're saving that now for when Boba Fett gets a little bit bigger again.
But yeah. So Doctor Strange villains, Dormammu. Yeah, I can see that. Because that's the big...
It's the big bad.
Doctor Strange villain, you know?
He's the big bad. I mean, he's the ultimate... he's from another dimension, and he's like the Sorcerer Supreme. He has that ability to open dimensions.
Well, everybody who reads Doctor Strange and has seen Doctor Strange in, other mediums, like the Avengers cartoon, has seen, that villain. Yeah. And that's...
He's the staple Doctor Strange villain.
Yeah, so, I mean... Of course, they're going to have him in there.
Kind of like Iron Man's Mandarin.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see him till Iron Man 3,
I know,
so
right? I mean,
and it wasn't even the Mandarin really. It was spoilers.
Yeah, in case it's 2015. If you haven't seen Iron Man 3, just go to bed.
Yeah, in case some loser out there hasn't seen Iron Man 3 yet.
God.
I'm pretty sure there is somebody who has not seen Iron Man 3
Not that you're a loser if you haven't seen Iron Man 3, but if you're listening to a podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you haven't seen Iron Man 3 yet, dude, that's been a while.
Yeah. Because there's guys I work with.
So yeah, they can do a lot of cool things with Doctor Strange, obviously, and open up a lot of stuff. But that kind of leads into, what's the date for Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
May 5th, 2017.
Yeah, 5/15/2017.
Yeah, 5/5/17.
5/5/17. Yeah, I remember like the graffiti painting of that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just really excited about Guardians 2.
I can't wait, dude. I'm like, there's this picture on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Peter Parker holding this mask up like he's about to put it on.
Yeah.
It looks like a boner.
Yeah.
Like it's the strangest boner right now. Dude, I do. I really just like have like the strangest boner right now because I love that movie.
Well, I have a friend that doesn't like Marvel movie or superhero movies at all. But the other day we watched Guardians, and he loved that movie. Absolutely loved it. He's like, this movie fucking rocks. And I was like, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, it's a good way for people to like, if you don't like superhero movies but you want to watch something Marvel, you can watch Guardians because it's not a superhero movie. It's a
space opera. It's a space opera.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it says Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy could just like mesh in together.
When I watched it, I felt like I was,
because it's like they could actually kind of do that with that, because it feels like it's like taking tropes from Star Wars.
Oh god, it has so much heart.
You know,
the movie has so much heart. Like the We Are Groot part.
Yeah,
dude, like little tear.
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah, dude.
Why is the tree and the raccoon making me cry?
These aren't even the
real characters.
There's only one part of that movie I could be really critical about, was the dance off.
But yeah, that's funny.
But that was the only part I could be critical about. The rest of the movie, it was just, I mean, it's better than sex, dude.
It's amazing.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it's a great movie. What's his name?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Well, yeah, but Michael Rooker that plays the leader of the Ravagers. Yondu. It's freaking awesome, dude. Like, I mean, he's great. These boys never tasted Terran before. I really hope that he's in the second one a lot more. Obviously, he will be.
Well, wasn't he part of the Guardians at one time?
Originally, he's the original team. Yes.
Yeah, in the
70s, 80s.
In the comic book, he's part of the Guardians.
None of them were, except I think Drax.
Right.
Was in the original Guardians with Yondu, and then they redid it in 05. Or 08, one of those two. And I read it then. I remember when it came out. I read like the first bit of it because that was during like the Annihilation War with Annihilus. And I kind of hope they do something with Annihilus in the next one, because they don't really have to do anything else with Thanos, because he's kind of like, I think he's almost done with them.
Yeah.
He needs to get the stone from them. And obviously they're, the Russo brothers have said that they want the Guardians in the Infinity War, and I don't think that we're not going to. I think that we're going to see.
I don't know, dude. That's James Gunn's. That's James Gunn's baby. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that'll happen or not. I'd like to see him cross over into.
Well, I mean, that's their job.
Into Marvel Cinematic, Avengers. I would love to see that, but
well, if Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet, it's not just affecting Earth.
Right, it's affecting the whole universe, but. It's still James Gunn's baby, and he's not. He's done said he's not tying anything into those movies.
Not yet.
He never tied anything in Guardians of the Galaxy to any other movie except for Thanos.
Yeah,
that was the only thing that he tied into it. The rest of it was all his baby. Mm-hmm. That's the way he wanted to do it.
What's the next movie coming out after Guardians? As far as chronological.
Rumored. Okay.
Rumored.
Okay, it's in the chronological order, but the I don't know if this is gonna be a title for it or not, but it's the Spectacular Spider-Man. So July 28th, 2017.
They're going with the Spectacular Spider-Man now, like the original title.
I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I heard different rumors. Like I heard they were going to call it. Spider-Man, the next Avenger. I heard that different rumors, different titles, but according to this resource right here, which is denogeeks.us, it's the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
So that's the next one in the lineup.
Well, I'm down with that title because that is the Marvel, or that's like, obviously Amazing Spider-Man was like first, but Spectacular Spider-Man's great too. We use them both, because that was a great comic run, and I like the fact, with that, bringing up Spider-Man, now that we have this from Sony, and it is going to be Peter Parker, and he is going to be played by, like, a 16-year-old.
Right.
That's what's exciting. That's what I always liked about Spider-Man, is the fact that he's an Avenger and he's a kid. And, like, he's so excited to become an Avenger, and to see him standing alongside, like, Thor and all of them, and he's smaller, and he's just, like, got his arms crossed, and he's just this wisecracking nerd. That's really exciting, because that's the essence of Spider-Man, is that he is a kid.
Well, that, and he's that way in the Ultimate Spider-Man, the cartoon series, and it works really well.
No, it does.
It does work really good.
I like the Ultimate. That's my favorite of those, of the new MCU, or Marvel, like, Disney XD series.
Right.
I think the Ultimate Spider-Man's been my favorite. Especially the one with Ultimate Deadpool.
Yeah.
I brought that up in the last Monkeycast that I did with Jack and them, but, like, the Ultimate Deadpool episode was fantastic. Because the whole time Spider-Man's like, who are you? What? Who? What? But, I mean, obviously, with Spider-Man, they can do, like, the wisecracking, I think they're gonna do him right, and I really.
Well, it's still a Sony movie.
Are they?
But it's being oversaw by the MCU guys.
So it's gonna say, like, like all the movies, it'll open up saying Marvel.
Yeah,
and it'll have
it's still a Sony-made movie. Sony still owns the rights to it, but
okay.
But Kevin
Feige.
Yeah, he's the creative consultant.
Okay. That's awesome, though.
That's how they're going to tie it into the rest of the MCU.
Okay.
It's because he's a creative consultant. He can go, well, no, we can't do this. We can do that. We can do this.
But his first appearance will be Civil War, from what we've got.
From what I'm gathering, like, they're talking.
It's all
it's going to be he's going to be in Civil War, at least as a cameo.
Yeah.
Maybe even like an after credit scene.
Right.
So.
Not like that fake thing on YouTube those guys
made.
Yeah. The assholes. That was awesome, though.
Yeah.
Kudos on your filmmaking.
It got me. It
did get me, too.
It got me. I was like, oh, that's so fake. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that to me? Because it did the whole fuzzy thing in and out, like they're in a theater.
Yeah.
Recording it. It looked legit. And I was like, oh, yeah, that looks awesome. And then I saw a news report. Oh, it's a fake one.
What a bummer,
man!
Because it got released like a week before Avengers: Age of Ultron.
That gave me nerd blue balls, dude. Seriously, that gave me nerd blue balls.
Yeah, really. Because when I saw that it was fake, I was like, well, that was better than what we got. Thanos going, oh, I'll do this myself at the end of Age of Ultron. That was it. You got to see the gauntlet, and you got to see him saying, I'll do this myself. And I was like, what do you mean you'll do it yourself? How is that tied into Ultron? Did Ultron have any fucking clue that you even exist? So anyway, yeah, even though that Spider-Man is partially belonging to Sony, since Kevin Feige is creative consultant, do you feel like that they're going to, like, clash over that? Like, they're going to be, like, both pulling at both ends? Or do you feel like that maybe Sony, when it's a Marvel film with Kevin Feige, that Sony will just put little hints at what they're going to do next? Little bitty stuff, and then when it's like a Sony film, maybe they'll just put like little bitty hints about Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. They're just going to like sprinkle in little Marvel stuff. They're not going to, as I read in the article, they're not even going to attempt to even bring in the Infinity War, which is kind of disappointing. But in the same right, it's Spider-Man, and.
He's barely street level. I mean, he's barely above street level.
He's not even an Avenger yet, and he don't really need to know all that stuff yet. And I mean,
he's one level above Daredevil as far as, like, Daredevil is the protector of Hell's Kitchen, and Spider-Man's pretty much the protector of, like, New York City and to a lesser degree.
Yeah,
like Midtown and Uptown.
Yeah,
not like, I think the Baxter Building's downtown. That's the Fantastic Four's like little area to do their shit. Obviously, that's not going to cross over the MCU because Sony has not made a deal with Fantastic Four.
It's not Sony owns that, though. It's Fox.
Fox, yeah, that's right.
Fox won't ever do that.
No, and the thing is, I think they're writing them out of continuity. They're the first family. They'll be in continuity, but they won't be active Marvel characters anymore.
Oh, you talking about the comic book?
The comic book, yeah.
Yeah, but they're killing off a lot of those just to make a point that they can bring them all back.
Well, yeah, but I
You know, I mean, we already know that's going to happen.
they're going to kill off anybody they want right now.
Yeah, they can kill off anybody. I mean, they kill off Wolverine. Spoilers. They killed off Deadpool. They killed off
Deadpool. I completely bought how they killed him. Wolverine, I was like, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you turned him into adamantium? He'll come out of that somehow. I don't know how, but he'll.
No, what they'll do is they'll collide the whole entire universe and go, oh, well, we're going to do the same thing DC did with
cross the universe.
Yeah. So
that's what's going to happen.
All right. So Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah.
Watching gods die.
Yeah.
Revenant Asgardians running around with glowing eyes. Quan Chi ruling over. I'm just kidding. It kind of feels like it though. Like it's like.
You get your Mortal Kombat mixed with your MCU. Is that what you're doing?
Sorry, but it does kind of feel like the Netherworld is taking over Asgard,
right?
Because they're all like revenants and they have like glowing eyes and.
You know, for people who don't know what we're alluding to, there's a sequence in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Yeah. It all keeps coming back to Age of Ultron.
Well, it has to
because it all ties in of Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what you'll possibly see,
mm-hmm.
you know, in the new movie.
Yeah, it's like he's talking to a revenant Heimdall.
Yeah.
That's been killed and resurrected.
Yeah.
Which it seems like everybody at that at that party that he goes to when he's
I believe that was supposed to be Asgard or
that's Asgard.
Valhalla. No, it's Valhalla.
Valhalla. Yeah, maybe.
So that's their heaven.
Because he was like, you know, they were all like, "Why weren't you here?
Yeah.
Why didn't you take care of us?" I wish they'd put the Loki scene in because that probably would have been a little bit more. If you're gonna go balls deep in Ragnarok, don't leave Loki out.
Well, no, they've confirmed he's coming back.
No, I'm just saying in the Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
you know how they left that scene out.
At least we'll see Loki again in Ragnarok.
Definitely.
You know,
he's probably going to be the main reason it happens because Odin.
Well, in Greek mythology, he's the main reason it happens.
You mean Norse mythology?
Yeah, Norse mythology. Thank you for catching that one.
I'm a history nerd. I'm gonna correct what you're saying. Fuck those guys.
Nerd.
But
you're a nerd. Anyway, yeah, Norse mythology. Yeah, what was I thinking Greek mythology for? What was I doing that for?
Now we're gonna have Hercules.
I was like, yeah, we're gonna have Hercules in there somewhere.
You excited me for a second because I would love to see Marvel's Hercules anywhere. That guy's awesome.
We're gonna see Zeus.
Ares, man.
Yeah, Ares. Yeah, right. So,
anyway.
Yeah, so I mean,
Norse mythology.
In Norse mythology, Loki does kickstart Armageddon.
Yeah.
So
Ragnarok.
Yeah. So, you know.
Oh, does that mean we're going to see the Midgard serpent? Because Thor has to fight the Midgard serpent and die to the Midgard serpent.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to die, though. He's not going to die.
No, he's going to get locked up.
We might see it, but he's not going to die.
Here's my theory right now. Everybody except maybe... Okay, I think all of the original roster besides Barton and Barton and Natasha are going to be excised from the Marvel Universe for about 3 or 4 years. I think Tony's going to retire after Cap either dies or whatever. Something bad happens with Cap at the end of Civil War.
But the thing is, Tony always retires.
I know.
You know, I mean...
First of all, he wasn't part of the Avengers initiative. He was just a consultant. Then they were like, fuck that, you're not a consultant. They're on the roster. And then he retired in Iron Man 3, and suddenly he had to come back because, obviously, he's Tony Stark, and his brain could not stop thinking about the wormhole.
But then they never really explained that either, why he came out of retirement.
Well, there's quite a bit of time.
You know?
I think that was a lot of people's problem with Age of Ultron, is that there's a lot of stuff that's unsaid. Is there a prequel comic? Is there?
I don't know.
I can't believe I don't know that. Hey, I'll find out, and I'll read it, and I'll tell you something about it cool. But... there is a lot of time between Age of Ultron and everything else, and I feel like that Tony... But anyway, I feel like what will happen is maybe you'll see Tony retire after whatever bad thing happens to Cap at the end of Civil War. At the end of Thor Ragnarok, because Hulk's gone, we know that. At the end of Thor Ragnarok, Thor is going to get like locked away or something,
right?
You know, like put in prison, and then we'll have the the age of the New Avengers as far as Phase 3 stuff. The rest...
Are we going to see the New Avengers in Ragnarok? Or is it just all going to take place in
Asgard?
In Asgard.
I don't know yet. They haven't released a lot of stuff about Ragnarok, really. There's no synopsis or casting list yet.
There's a comic book out.
Well, no, I mean, I've read Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
And in Thor Ragnarok, a lot of people die. Thor dies because he's not in the Civil War.
Right.
Because Tony builds a Thor clone bot named Ragnarok that kills Goliath in Civil War because it's a big deal.
So does that mean we're going to see the other Thor, maybe? The other...
You mean Lady Thor?
No.
God, don't say that.
No. God, no, dude.
I'm sorry.
Come on, no.
You mean like Eric Matthews Thor? Thunderstrike?
The damn horse one, man.
Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to either see Beta Ray Bill or Eric Masterson Thunderstrike Thor.
Beta Ray Bill.
Because Eric Masterson looks just like Thor. I mean, he
Right.
becomes Thor, so they can have somebody playing Eric Masterson and have Chris Hemsworth. Or they could just do the Dr. Donald Blake story, finally. That Dr. Donald Blake stumbles in, like the original... Because this is Thor Odinson we have in Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is not someone who found Thor's hammer in a cave, picked it up,
Right.
was worthy, and when he picks it up, he becomes Chris Hemsworth.
Right.
This guy is Thor all the time.
Right.
So this allows them to write somebody in to become Thor when they use the hammer.
Right.
It can be a Dr. Donald Blake. We know that he exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he used to be friends with Eric Selvig. Doesn't have to be. It can be Beta Ray Bill because apparently he might have been in Guardians of the Galaxy in the Collector's Room, but then like James Gunn said no, he wasn't. That if you look at that, it wasn't him. But hell, dude, I mean, now they've done Guardians, they can bring Beta Ray Bill or Eric Masterson for that matter. It doesn't matter.
I think they'll keep it pretty simple. I think they won't kill him. They'll definitely probably lock him away.
Yeah. And then you'll have your new Avengers being led by, and your Defenders, which we'll get into that a little bit
The
more.
Defenders ain't slated to come out until after.
After what? Let's see. It's got a while.
Yeah, it's got a long time.
I don't know how the Netflix
Yeah.
thing is running. I know it's pretty quick now, though. I know they're getting into Jessica Jones pretty quick as they can. And then they're going to do Luke Cage, then Iron Fist. And
But-
the Defenders the Defenders series,
Yeah.
I see Strange having something to do with that. That's just me. I will get into it another time.
So after Ragnarok, we have Avengers: Infinity War Part 1, May the 4th, 2018.
Now, by then, I guarantee the Defenders stuff will be all done.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's all going to be done. So there's nothing after that. There's nothing between that, is there?
There's in between Part 1, there's going to be Black Panther, and then there's going to be Captain Marvel, and then there's going to be Part 2. So what I'm thinking is,
I feel so wasted.
in Part 1, they're going to either eliminate half the new Avengers, or like I told you, Vision's probably going to bite it at the end of the first Infinity War.
The fact that the Gauntlet's in play,
yeah,
they can do whatever they want. Because in the Infinity Gauntlet in the story, dude, like half the Marvel universe gets killed.
Okay, so what they could do is in Part 1 kill off okay, look here. You got Black Panther coming out after that, Captain Marvel coming out after that. So they kill off at least 2 Avengers to make room for 2 more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or kill off 1 and gain 2.
Yeah. You can kill off somebody big, like maybe Tony comes to help with the fight and he gets killed. Because like in the book, because Tony...
Really? You think they're going to kill off Tony?
Well, they can kill off anybody they want.
They can kill off Tony. I'm not saying they won't.
I mean, they can kill
off... No, I'd say they won't. They won't kill off Tony because...
I don't know.
If they kill off Tony, they have to bring him back.
Well, no, they will bring him back. They would
have to be like...
Anybody that dies will come back.
They'll be like, okay, Doctor Strange, you're going to have to bring him back because...
Well, no, it's...
Tony's their moneymaker.
Because of the fact that they have that he has the time gem.
Yeah.
As part of it. So whatever happens, as soon as Adam Warlock or Doctor Strange or the amalgamation of those two gets the gauntlet back, he immediately undoes what Thanos did.
Right.
We know that's how that's going to go. He's got Thanos, because as soon as Thanos got the gauntlet in the Infinity Gauntlet, he killed half the life in the universe died. Because his major thing is that he wants to court Lady Death, the actual Death.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to have anything to do with him, and he thinks he needs to be more ruthless. But that's the problem she has with him, is that he doesn't respect death. He just uses it.
Right.
And he loves her, completely.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to play that into the movie.
No,
because
he's just
that
gonna
would
be
just
crazy.
Yeah, he'll just be the Mad Titan.
Mad Titan, yeah.
Because in the movie, they're going to be like, well, that's going to overconvolute things.
No, they'll just,
and then you're going into Deadpool territory because Deadpool and Thanos and
Lady
Death all have this like weird love triangle thing going on with each other. So, and that's owned by Fox too. So,
if anybody's going to use Lady Death,
it's going to be Fox.
Fox.
It's going to be Fox.
But you can make him the Mad Titan though. You can make him just do crazy shit because he wants to rule the galaxy.
Because he's insane. We've already been told he's insane anyway.
Yeah. Through fear and submission, he thinks he can rule the galaxy.
I mean, in Guardians of the Galaxy, we were told he was insane. Yeah. And everything before that, he was insane.
Gamora left his side.
Yeah.
Because she's like the adopted daughter of Thanos. Like Nebula is the created daughter.
Oh, speaking of Guardians 2, Nebula's coming back.
That's huge because she's going to be big in Infinity War.
Yeah.
She will be... If there's nobody else in Infinity War, it will be Nebula.
Right.
Because they have to... She's Thanos' only living... Not living, but only created heir at this point. Well, since they've already done that, and they've created that storyline, I guess, once Gamora found out that her father has the Infinity Gauntlet, dude, they're going to be... If James Gunn's got any wits about him, he's going to hightail the Guardians in to come in and get just blasted.
It may not even be his decision by that time. By the time Infinity War comes, it would be Kevin's decision. It won't even be his.
Because he'll be probably letting it go after the second
right.
Because there's nothing else to do at that point. Yeah, they'll be in it. I mean, I'd say that pretty much anybody in the MCU, you're going to see them in it, because what Adam Warlock or Doctor Strange basically has to do at this point is get every living hero that's still alive to go fight Thanos. Not so they can win, so he can distract him.
Right.
So he can get the gauntlet somehow. Because the whole time in the story, Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer are just waiting for the time in the battle where Surfer can use his super speed, his space power, his sentinel powers, power cosmic, to snatch the gauntlet off of his hand. That's all you gotta do is just get it. Right. Which it doesn't turn out too good for Surfer, but they eventually do get it, and I'm sure they're going to be doing something like that, because, you've got, dead heroes everywhere, Cap's dead, and Thor's dead, and Iron Man's dead, and so they're like, it's okay, no matter what happens. The whole time Adam Warlock's like, it's okay, no matter what happens, I can undo it, as long as I got the gauntlet.
Right.
As long as I get it back, I can undo everything that's happened for the last 5 years that happened bad in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bring all these people back that have been gone or dead, which they've already said. Kevin Feige said, pretty much everybody that you've ever seen that's gone or dead has the possibility of coming back in the Infinity War. So, whether they're called from the grave to fight for Warlock / Doctor Strange or whatever, you're going to see a lot of people in those movies. And I feel like that since Black Panther and Captain Marvel's movie is coming out between those two, that they're obviously, there's something important about that, because otherwise wouldn't they just hurry up and make those movies first and then let them be in the Infinity War? They can already be in the Infinity War, though. This is going to be their movie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the call to arms to get T'Challa and to get Carol Danvers into the fight. Into the main fight with Thanos, and to
we're definitely going to see the origin stories of both those characters.
Right. So. Especially T'Challa.
Yeah.
Because he needs it.
Yeah.
Carol Danvers is she's an Air Force pilot that, becomes Captain Marvel. They need to expand on that a lot, because, first of all, they need to explain what Captain Marvel is.
Yeah.
Because it's not just her that's been Captain Marvel.
No.
She only became Captain Marvel last year. Like, she was Miss Marvel forever, you know, but Captain Marvel's been in the Marvel Universe for so long. He's been so many different people. She's half Kree, so that the whole Kree thing is very big, too. They're explaining all the Kree stuff. They're doing that on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because of the fact that, you know, they're doing Inhumans now, now we can get into that.
Right.
Inhumans, which comes out when? After the Infinity War, of course.
Yeah, it does. It's July 12th, 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand after the Infinity War's over why you would do Inhumans then, because this is like basically like Marvel's excuse to make their own MCU version of the X-Men. You know?
Yeah.
You can make a mutant type story without using the M word because it's a bad word.
Yeah, because they can't use that in the Marvel Cinematic, you know. No, they can't do that.
They can't use the word mutant at all. They use the word miracle, and they use the word... Is that what they use for the twins? They called them miracles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you call them miracle. Yeah.
Is that what Strucker called them?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this allows them to expand their universe quite big by including the Inhumans, because now they can just, like, they can world build.
Right.
You know, not just with what's going on S.H.I.E.L.D. with, like, the Earth-based Inhumans. This is going to be the Inhuman royal family on the moon, or wherever they put them at that point. But, right. I mean, I'm just going from comics. You know, this is Black Bolt and Medusa and all these characters that just are so out of range of the rest of the Marvel Universe. Because they're on the moon doing their own thing. They don't like to be bothered.
This will be Phase 4.
Yeah. Well, you know, the city of Athlon,
yeah,
they've been hidden for hundreds of years because they knew that if anybody found out that they existed, that they could be destroyed by the Kree or by humans or by whoever. They're very, very territorial, almost like Aquaman is with Atlantis.
Right.
Or more Namor is with Atlantis.
Right.
Like how Namor rules Atlantis. He's compassionate to his people, but man, outsiders, he just fucks them up.
Right.
That's how Namor has become a villain a couple times, you know. And man, now that's something. That's somebody that they definitely have in their back pocket that they haven't used yet. It's Prince Namor.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is not... Everything else that they're not using right now, Prince Namor is one that they've not even mentioned, but is very important to this whole story. The point is, are they not doing it because they don't want to do an Atlantean story? Because
I think so, because, you know...
It's expanding the universe so big.
Yeah.
You want to do it later?
Yeah. And, well, not only that, but you got DC doing it pretty soon. So,
yeah, you've got...
You know,
2 Atlantis stories back to back.
Yeah, it's like The Legend of Hercules and then Hercules.
Yeah. Whoa. Thanks, Brett Ratner, for washing the bad taste out of my mouth for the worst movie. I really wanted Marvel's Hercules. I mean, just I want to see that guy and
that movie could have been The Rock shitting in the woods for like 2 hours straight. That would have still been better than
The Legend of
Hercules. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It's a bad movie.
All right,
it's like shitty 300. that shit where like it slows down and it speeds up. You know, like
right.
Oh, stab.
Yeah.
Oh, blood splat.
Yeah.
There's one scene in that movie, I swear to God, if you didn't notice it, in The Legend of Hercules, I'm just gonna say this. I know I'm getting off a tangent, but I just have to mention it because it's that bad. There's a dude that gets like stabbed with a spear.
Yeah.
And it's like that old...
You can see it under his arm.
It's under his arm, and he's facing the camera. It's not like on this side.
Yeah.
It's on his left side.
Yeah,
like,
it's horrible.
Where it's facing and he's like, oh, man. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, what
it's
are we
really
kids?
bad.
Are we
it's
kids?
really bad. Yeah.
You're running around with a spear under your arm like, oh, I've been stabbed. Man, it's stupid.
It's really horrible.
You didn't pay attention to your camera angles. You got like 5 guys in a green screen.
I know. It's horrible, dude.
Do your damn job.
It's horrible. So, okay, so now that we talked about the MCU Marvel movies, there's like 2 other studios that own Marvel properties, and
we don't really have to worry about Spider-Man, Sony stuff.
We already know that Sony and Marvel are getting tight over that, and that's fine and dandy, you know. But there's Fox, Fox owns X-Men, they own the Fantastic Four, but the one I'm really excited about, the one I really want to see, and you know this. I just talk about this all the time. when I'm over here.
Well, no, it's.
I mean, because I'm in love with the guy.
Well, I am too.
I'm in love with Deadpool. I'm in love with him.
Like I can't wait for that.
Right.
No, Deadpool is gonna. Dude, that's like the biggest surprise of a movie that's taken Ryan Reynolds passionately pounding at the wall for like 7 years to try to get.
I really think he was the one that leaked that footage.
Oh, I
think he was the one that leaked that footage.
I can tell you right now that everything that's happened is probably because of Ryan.
Yeah. I watched that footage like 1,000 times. I can watch it like 1,000 times more.
It's my shit.
Yeah, because I love it. I love it. I mean, that's the one I'm really excited about.
No, it's rated R.
Yeah.
And it's got like
wait. Did you say R? R-matey.
Well, I'm just that's how Logan would say it, right?
R.
He's gonna be in it, right? They're gonna have Logan in it, aren't they?
No.
Please.
Colossus is gonna be there.
I know Colossus is gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Do you think Cable? Do you think Summers will be in there?
He's not slated for it. No.
Nathan Summers.
The only ones that are slated for it is Colossus, and Copycat,
of course,
Weasel, and Angel Dust, and Ajax, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead,
which is awesome.
Okay,
yes, that's so punk rock.
Yeah, right. So, the name even sounds punk rock.
She is punk rock.
Really?
Oh yeah.
But I don't see like. Okay, well, the Colossus thing is kind of a rumor, but I've seen.
No, there's stuff about it.
There's stuff about it.
And it's not the guy that played Colossus before.
No, it's going to be a different guy. Yeah. I mean, it's not on the IMDb page, but we've seen it already. We've seen like pictures and stuff of Colossus going to be in there.
Yeah.
So it begs the question, is he like a villain, or is he going to be like, communist Colossus, or is he going to be like a hero and Deadpool's just annoying him, or what?
I think they'll play him off kind of like, if they're not going to have Cable in this one, they're going to use Colossus like Cable.
Right. Like he's kind of an annoyance. Like Deadpool's kind of an annoyance.
He's kind of like an amalgamation of Cable and Logan would be if they could get them both in this movie.
Right.
That's Colossus.
Right.
Like he's part of the X family.
I would have loved to have seen Cable in this movie because it could have done Cable.
We don't know.
Fox owns the X-Men.
We don't know.
And X-Men, it's Cable.
Do you remember when Days of Future Past came out and how surprised you were when you saw all the mutants that weren't even talked about until Entertainment Weekly released like those 40 cover things?
Yeah.
Like you were like, Toad's in it?
Yeah, but I mean those were cameos. I mean, if I want to see a Deadpool story with Cable, I really want to see how they buddy up together. Because in the comic books, it's just like it's hysterical stuff, man.
Summers, what are you doing here?
Yeah, just
come to travel back to tell you that the blah blah. Oh, it's okay. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He never listens to him.
No.
And he's always coming to tell him the most important, world-shaking, like Mr. Sinister's going to clone 17 of Professor Xavier's and take over the universe.
That's what I don't understand about Cable. He don't understand that Wade Wilson is a waste of his time.
He is.
But still he comes back to tell Wade Wilson.
Wade Wilson's like his tether to the real world.
He tells him instead of telling people who's important, like the X-Men.
Tell your dad.
Yeah, or or X Factor, or X Force. Anybody else but Wade Wilson. But,
and you're going to get trapped in the past trying to clean up after him and get into wacky adventures. And Cable Deadpool is some of the best writing and best comics I've read in a long time. I love the Cable and Deadpool.
So if Cable's going to be in a Deadpool movie, they should just get rid of every one of these other mutants. Okay?
Just be Cable.
And just be Cable and Deadpool and then a bunch of villains. And that would be it. That would be it. So, and that would be a movie. And that would be a great movie.
That would be a great movie.
I mean, it's still going to be a great movie. But
it's a passion project. And, dude, if there's anybody that's a bigger Deadpool fan than me and you, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Oh, God. You see how much weight he lost to take that role on, too? Man, oh, God. The guy looks like he needs a sandwich or something,
I couldn't believe, it was like, man, that's him in the suit. That's not
him
CGI.
In the suit.
That's Ryan Reynolds, not a stuntman.
I mean, the test footage is CGI.
So, the test footage is.
The pictures are all him in that suit.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic.
Didn't he get hit by a car the other day and he's like, I'm okay?
Yeah.
Everybody freaked out and he's like, I was fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm alright. They hurt his hip or something. Speaking of the X-Men.
Oh, yes. Apocalypse.
Oh, man. This is the movie that I've been waiting on since they first started doing the X-Men story. Besides the Wolverine movie that came out 2 years ago was the movies I'm most excited about in the X universe, other than Deadpool, of course, because I always wanted to see the Japanese Wolverine movie made into, or Japanese Wolverine story being made into a film.
Yeah.
Because that's like the best Wolverine story.
Right.
But then I'm really excited about Apocalypse, but Apocalypse couldn't have been here without Days of Future Past, and I never thought in a million years we would see a Days of Future Past film. When
Are we going to see like the big blue bastard apocalypse, or are we just going to see like the kind of?
Well, I don't know, because like at the did you know the little thing at the end of
Days of Future Past,
the little stinger there that when they show him, he kind of looks like one of the engineers from Prometheus, which is cool. I mean, that's a cool look. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that they're gonna he was young there. Obviously, he was
Well, yeah, he's like the first mutant.
He was the first mutant.
In ancient Egypt.
The first mutant becomes the end of mutants.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole story. And now, if they can do an Apocalypse film without Cable, I would be very shocked.
I was actually shocked that the guy who played Angel is coming back to play Archangel.
Yeah, I know. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's really cool.
I was like, okay, that's cool, man.
I like that guy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
He was Charlie something. He was in 3:10 to Yuma. Mm-hmm. He was Charlie Prince, the guy with the white coat that worked for Russell Crowe's character, and he was like a badass in that. He's a badass in a lot of stuff, man. He was in Smoking Aces, and I like that guy.
Oh, wait a minute. No, they changed it.
What?
Yeah.
It's not him anymore?
No.
Who is it?
Ben Hardy.
That is him. It's Ben Hardy. Yeah. I think so.
No.
Isn't it?
No.
Dude, that's what I'm thinking.
This is a young guy.
No, he looks young,
yeah.
but it's Ben Hardy. I'm pretty sure.
No, that's the guy that played Angel in the X-Men 3. It was.
Yeah.
Was in his 30s.
Yeah.
This guy was born like 1991.
Okay.
So that's me a complete ass of myself. Thanks for me. Awesome.
Okay.
It's getting late. I mean, it's getting late. Okay, so it happens.
It happens.
But are we gonna have like Gambit taking the place of Wolverine, or you think we'll see Wolverine?
No, it was announced today.
Uh-huh.
Hugh Jackman announced today that the next Wolverine standalone film he does will be the last film he plays as Wolverine.
But he said that the last time.
I know.
You know.
It's hard to.
We're not going to see him in Apocalypse?
I think Logan will be in Apocalypse. Yeah.
You think so?
I don't know if it'll be Hugh Jackman though. Well, no, it has to be.
It has to be because they done.
No, he has to be in it. No,
Days of Future Past.
He's in it. No, he's got to be in it, dude.
I mean,
they'll introduce Gambit.
Yeah, we have Remy LeBeau or Gambit.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum rumored for it.
Well, I mean, no.
So,
he fought for that role like Ryan Reynolds has been fighting
for.
Well,
those characters are sort of similar in a way, except for Gambit's more like charming about the way he goes about things.
Yeah, but they're both rogues.
Yeah, they're both rogues. They're both kind of tough guy. Mm-hmm. So that could be like, if we can't get Hugh Jackman for the role of Wolverine, we can always have Gambit and just make him act just like Wolverine.
Well, I mean, that's what we've all wanted since.
I mean, because that's why they didn't have him in X-Men 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Is because he's just like Wolverine. And they're like, well, the two characters would collide with each other so much that,
Looking back on it now, though, it would have been pretty cool because they were fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have had to fight with Scott and made Scott look like a douchebag. Mm-hmm. And hopefully they're going to fix that in Apocalypse and make Cyclops, like Captain America, the leader of the fucking X-Men and a badass and a strategist and awesome.
Well, you don't have the star power of...
James Marsden.
You don't have the star power of Halle Berry as Storm anymore. She was really pushing to be like the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah, I know.
And she's just not there no more.
Who's playing Storm? Do we know yet?
Yeah, it's on this list. Just give me a second to...
Okay.
Alexandra Shipp.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. You don't know who she is.
We'll know her when Apocalypse comes out. I bet she's an awesome actress.
You don't know who she is, so therefore she ain't got the way to roll around like Halle Berry did.
Yeah, you're not like, oh man, that's a big actor.
Yeah.
She's probably awesome because...
Now, the one you might recognize is Sophie Turner.
Yeah. Sophie Turner
from Game of Thrones as Jean Grey.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that they're using her. Sansa,
she's got more star power.
Yeah.
Than this other.
But even then, like this is like her first big film role. So
yeah, but she's done proven that she can act pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, she does an amazing job in Games of Thrones. You know?
Yeah.
Games of Thrones.
Games of Thrones.
I need some caffeine. Caffeine. Games of Thrones.
Games of Thrones.
Thrones.
I mean, do we have? What is the list of X-Men so far that's in Apocalypse?
Okay, we got Jean Grey. We got Mystique. We got Gambit. Got Beast. Got Apocalypse, of course. Got Quicksilver.
Awesome.
Oh, yes! Yes!
Fuck yeah!
Yes!
Exciting.
Okay, wait a minute. I have to take a moment there. Please be in the movie more than 15 minutes. I mean, it's the same guy.
Awesome.
It's the same guy. Please be in the movie more than 15 fucking minutes. Because that just... God. That made me want to cry.
I know.
Anyway.
You needed.
We got Moira Taggart. You know?
Yeah, well, that's a big part with having Moira and
we got Psylocke
in there.
We got Psylocke, which is Olivia Munn.
Awesome. So
she's
got some chops, man.
Everybody keeps downing her acting ability, and you know what? I don't care how she acts as long as she looks good in the outfits. To me,
I mean, are they downing her because like she's like a little bit older than the rest of the cast too? Like, I mean, I could see that.
But they're also kind of like, well, she's only acted in a couple movies, and every time she's been kind of bad. And
she's fucking sexy, dude. Let her do
it. She is really sexy, dude.
Let her do it.
Like, you know,
she looks like Psylocke.
I want to see her in that outfit.
Right.
Ever since I've seen her on G4 TV, I wanted to see her in that outfit.
Yeah, well, we all have,
yeah. So we got Magneto. Rumored we got Wolverine.
Olivia Munn, if you're listening, when you get in the Psylocke outfit, send me a selfie.
Yeah. Definitely. We got Nightcrawler.
Awesome.
We got Cyclops.
Nightcrawler's recasted too, right?
Yeah.
It's not Alan Cumming.
Cody McPhee.
Smith McPhee.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah, young guy.
But I've seen the Nightcrawler makeup and everything.
Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah.
It looks really good.
It's not Alan Cumming, but I mean, like, they couldn't do that.
No, well, you know, man, I have mixed feelings about that.
You didn't like his Kurt
Vonnegut? I loved it. That's the problem. And when he didn't sign on for another X-Men, I was like,
yeah, like, fuck you, man.
You just like, you played in one movie and they had a video game in between that space of time. I can't remember what it was called. And if anybody else knows what it was called, just like, you know, comment or something, or send me a really abrasive email or something like, you fucking idiot, you didn't know what the video game was, but there was a video game in between the second X-Men and the third one, where it explained why Nightcrawler left the X-Men.
Really? I didn't even know that game existed.
But I was like, man, that's laziness, man. I really wanted to see Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler again.
Did you, speaking of that, did you ever play the Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine video game?
I loved it. It was a lot better than the movie. A lot better.
Could you just make the movie like this?
Yes, it was so uber violent. Like, oh my god.
Not even the violence. The story alone.
Yeah.
Would have fit right in, especially with what Bryan Singer did with Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
It would have fit right in.
Yeah.
Of course, now we don't have to worry about that because it's all been...
Yeah, all the continuity's been... Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, you might as well just forget that X-Men 1, 2, and 3, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men... the Wolverine, all that happened. It never did.
It never happened, yeah.
So,
it's all new.
So if you wasted all your money on those tickets, I feel so sorry for you.
Right. And I did. So. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's like Star Trek. I feel like it's just like another timeline.
Well, I think Bryan Singer had to do that because... He had to.
It was a mess.
Yeah, it was. Especially after X-Men 3. That was just a mess of a movie.
Fucking awful.
I mean, you're trying to fit like... How many books was the Dark Phoenix Saga in?
Oh my god, dude! Like they fit the Phoenix Saga and the Dark Phoenix Saga into one film.
One movie. You can't do that. You just can't do that.
And like tried to do a little bit of the Trask stuff, like as far as like the cure and like the disease and like with Leech and all that stuff. Like ridiculous. Oh, and Juggernaut's not a mutant, but he is in this movie. was like, no,
yeah.
Why is he not? He never was a mutant. He's in an X-Men, but he's not a mutant.
Right.
He's got the bands of Sidorak, and that's what makes him a badass. That's
Yeah.
why he can stand up to the Hulk for a minute.
Nobody was gonna mention that, you know, because it's too hard to explain that away.
It is.
Yeah. But
I understand their reasoning.
The real big Marvel movie that I was from Fox that I'm really disappointed with is.
Are we going back to this?
Yeah, we're going back to this because it's in the MCU. I mean, it's all
the fuck you for.
Everything Marvel is doing is just gold. I'm sorry, but everything Marvel touches in their own studio, their own in-house studio, it's going to be gold.
It's good.
They're going to poop out gold.
Everybody
knows it.
It's going to be at least 50% adequate.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not. No, I mean, sorry, 60%.
I'm gonna say 70%. Just right. I mean, it's just like, you ever heard the Beatles say we're too big to fail?
Yeah,
that's what the MCU from Marvel is doing. It's just too big to fail.
If it's got that stand, people are gonna go watch it.
It is the Juggernaut. It is the Hulk. I mean, it is what they. I mean, Disney is not gonna screw that up to the point where everybody's gonna be like, no, I'm not watching these no more.
They got too much money to invest in.
They got too much money, too much time. They got too many good directors on their roster. I mean, they just pull people anytime they want.
Well, I mean, you just throw it out to somebody like, I guarantee you, like, now that J.J. Abrams is walking away from Star Trek and stuff, if they were like, and Star Wars, you know, he's finishing up Star Wars 1, and I think that he's pawning it off. They could be like, J.J., what do you want to do? Do you want to do J.J. Abrams? Would you do the Captain Marvel movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah. They can just pull whoever they want to, man. They just
talented young directors ready, hungry to tell the stories they grew up reading.
Because in the cinematic world, Disney is like Apple.
No,
to everybody else. You know, they're just so big.
They can't fail now.
You know, they can't. They're not going to.
They could even make a bad movie, and it wouldn't be a big difference.
They could make a bad movie and do it on purpose, and everybody would still lap it up like it's nothing.
It'd still make, like Turtles did, make $500 million.
Yeah, and get a sequel.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not going to fail.
So everything MCU does is gold, and we don't even have to discuss that, because it's the TV shows, everything. It's all gold. I mean, there's none of us that's going to be disappointed with any of it.
Dude, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1 is like day and night, dude.
Yeah.
Like black and white. Like, I love Season 2. I've ate up every bit of that. And, like, Season 1 was decent, but I can see why a lot of people had problems with it. It was like, well, it kind of threw people off, because it's like, well, this isn't the Avengers. This is more spy level.
Yeah.
But, damn, dude, as soon as Civil War hit, man, I mean, not Civil War, but as soon as Winter Soldier hit, that show picked up its
speed. As soon as Hydra reared back into the picture.
They had they were like, man, this is good storytelling. We got this. Thank the Russo brothers for saving Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. probably. Yeah. And Agent Carter.
Yeah.
Which is better.
So, so we have to talk about the Abomination. That's what I'm calling it.
The Hulk villain?
You know what?
I hope they do bring him back. Kind of hope he's in Civil War.
Yes, and have the guy that played in Lie to Me, come back.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth, man. Why is I'm forgetting all these names? It's late. I apologize. It's late. I apologize. Like, I'm forgetting all these names and it's like right in front of my computer screen. Like I could.
Yeah, you literally have access to the internet
right here, and I'm like,
God forbid we look stuff up on the internet. Oh man, let's not use this tool.
Let's not use the internet at all. I mean, even though we're both connected to it right now, let's not use it at all.
Sitting actively at our computer.
Right. So.
And microphone right here.
Yeah. So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You seen the front shot of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks badass.
No, it does. It looks really good.
It does look badass. Photo? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like it. Like that.
I've watched the trailer several times, and I just can't get him to grow on me like I should. It
looks like a rock monster.
Yeah, that's not the problem I have with it, though. It just looks like it was rushed. Like, I don't know how to explain it, man. Like, his eyes don't...
No, they look weird. Yeah,
They do.
It's like
they look
one of
really
them's off.
weird. And it's like they don't emote, you know? It looks like somebody took and drew Ben Grimm, okay?
Yeah.
And then through those little googly eyes you get in the dark.
Yeah, his eyes are like funny looking.
Those on a drawing, and I know I'm gonna get shit for that because
that's a bit much, but I mean, you know what it means.
Everybody's gonna give me shit for that. Like, oh, I watched the trailer, I thought it was fine, blah blah blah.
I do like all the Doom stuff in the trailer. Don't get me wrong. I thought Doom looks cool as fuck.
I mean, if we're going on looks alone,
and acts, I mean,
it looks okay, except for Thing, but. I've heard that they've changed the story so much that it don't even feel like... It's like you took the Fantastic Four and you threw them into another movie.
Yeah, like they're almost detached completely from...
it's almost completely not even Fantastic Four no more.
At least they're... I mean, it looks like it's New York City, obviously, and the Baxter Building is in it. So there's that. But, the thing I don't have a problem with is like everybody like Michael B. Jordan is Johnny Storm. That doesn't make sense, and I'm like, I don't care if he's.
I don't even have a problem with that no more. I have more of a problem with Jamie Bell playing Ben Grimm because he's this little skinny guy.
Yeah, I know, and it's supposed to become this.
He's the muscle.
Yeah,
muscle wear. Muscle wear,
I'm
man.
bigger than that guy, and I'm little.
There's no muscle anywhere on that guy. I mean, unless you're talking about his dick. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. And I don't think we're going to get evidence.
No, God, no. I hope
PG-13.
not. Big old rock dick.
He skeets rocks. Thing skeets rocks.
Yeah. You're just going to see this thing just to the ground. What's that? That's my rock dick.
Big rock, firing rocks like a machine gun out of his dick.
You know what's funny, though, is in most of the trailers... He doesn't have any underwear on.
It doesn't look like he's wearing any kind of costume.
No.
Not even pants.
So...
Where is his dick?
did it fall off? I mean...
That's a pretty rough transformation.
No! I mean...
Either way, if it fell off or melted into him when he transformed, he's pretty miserable.
Yes. Yeah. I mean...
Do you think that they're going to make him, like, in control? Because it kind of makes in the trailers, it kind of looks like they almost are using him like the Hulk. Like he kind of loses control a bit or something. Yeah,
they could do that. And that would be really disappointing because Ben Grimm has like this really cool attitude.
Yeah, I would really hate it if it weren't clobbering time.
Yeah, if he wasn't in control of that and he's like the Hulk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be disappointing.
Kind of looks like it. Everything I've seen about it. I mean, of course, they're not going to like announce him saying, it's clobbering time.
That would be awesome, though. Really, I would want to see that in the trailer.
Yeah, like let them say that and punch the camera or something.
But I mean, I know it's the guy that directed Chronicle. I know that. I like Chronicle, but Jesus Christ.
The problem is, though, okay, with the old Fantastic Four movies, the first one's okay. The second one sucks. And the main reason the second one sucks is not because of a lot of things that people say. It's the tone of the film. It's the fact that they got it a little too silly.
No, here's the problem with Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Okay, I'll get sum up in 2 words for you: Silver Surfer. I mean, seriously, they're trying to shoehorn in Silver Surfer, and
I love the actor. Don't get me wrong, man. I love Doug Jones. I've met him several times. I love Abe Sapien in Hellboy. He owns that role, voice and looks. Yeah. He's a great character actor. He's I can't. Dadgummit. Let me think. In the show Falling Skies, he's the leader of like the fish head guys, the aliens that help out the humans, and he's fucking awesome in that. He's Cochise. They call him Cochise.
Yeah.
And he's really awesome in that show, which I really like that show. But dude, it's just like he was just given. It was just bad writing and bad direction on the part of making the Silver Surfer. Like. They were like, well, we don't want to overpower him. I'm like, no, fuck it, dude. Just make him how he is.
Yeah.
You could have just made him how he was and made Galactus look a little different.
Yeah.
And it would have been scary.
Galactus was a floating cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we saw of him anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever even got close to Earth. I think that like all that, like the cloud and the tendrils and all that was like the very edge of Galactus. Like he never even got close.
Right.
Because there's one point where if you pause it, you can see the outline in orange and pink of his face and like his helmet and stuff, but it's like almost like a projection. And whether that's the cloud or that's like him far, I don't know.
Right.
Nobody knows what the hell they were doing in that movie, obviously.
No.
And having the stupid dance scene with Mr. Fantastic doing the worm and shit. Oh my god, it made me sick. I was like, oh god, Ioan Gruffudd has to be so embarrassed to be shooting this. I don't think anybody was happy about making that second movie.
No.
I mean...
Well, now you get your reboot, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
But are they taking it because the guy that made Chronicle is it too serious? Is it like super serious, played close to the chest, super dark?
There are very playful parts in Chronicle, though.
There are. I mean, there's a lot of really fun parts.
There's a lot of really fun parts in Chronicle.
But this trailers that I've seen makes it seem very...
It does look uber dark.
Very dark and very fucking serious.
Yeah.
With a very young cast.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way. Obviously, hopefully they'll have fun. I mean, Chick's cute that's playing Sue Storm. What's her name?
Kate Mara.
Katie Mara. Yeah, Katie Mara.
Katie Mara.
Yeah, I couldn't think of her name. Yeah, Katie Mara. Yeah, she's cute, man. I mean, I like
that.
Yeah. That's good casting. I mean, I like the casting, except for Ben. I like the casting. I mean, but I understand if they want to do like a super cool transformation and they do win me over with the they're going to have to do like a really cool transformation for Ben Grimm. But the thing is, he never stops being the Thing, right?
No.
I mean, he's never going to not be him.
Yeah.
So
they can't do like an Incredible Hulk thing
no.
with him where he just like
or they
goes
do.
angry.
Yeah, or they do.
And it's
horrible.
like, yeah.
He's always Rocky Road, man. I mean, he's always he's like probably out of the Fantastic Four, he's the fan favorite. He's been an Avenger. He's been a part of it, a part of a lot of stuff. If there's anybody I would keep
true to the comic book form,
it's Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm, because nobody gives a shit about the other ones.
Seriously, they can be fooled with.
Whatever.
I mean, as long as Reed Richards, if this was in the MCU, Reed Richards would be an older guy.
Yeah,
he would be very tuned into everything.
Oh,
He'd be working with Tony, working with S.H.I.E.L.D. This would be much different. This is a completely different.
This is why the MCU needs the Fantastic Four back.
Oh God, I know.
Because 20th Century Fox is like, well, we made a really good X-Men movie, and then we're going to really make another good X-Men movie again because we got Bryan Singer back.
Yeah.
Let's just go screw up the Fantastic Four because we own the property.
Well, it's like at first I was like, okay, it's like Ultimates. It's like Ultimate Fantastic Four. You know, they're younger and stuff, but then it just keeps dividing, and it feels just so divisible that it's like I barely see Fantastic Four, and it's almost just like its own movie. That could be a strength or a weakness. It could be something like you said, we walk in and watch it and you're like, damn, dude, that was cool as shit. Like, okay, like if you're gonna remove yourself from the MCU, really do it and commit.
Yeah.
Or if you're not going to, then it's gonna be shitty.
Because once you cross that line,
you better.
There's no going back. You better make damn sure there's no going back.
You own it.
Yeah.
You better own it, and it better be good. So I mean, I'm holding reservation. I'm just saying that it looks really dark. The Thing looks weird. Like I said, I don't know what's happening in post. I don't know if it's locked or not. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure if they're showing us trailers, it may be locked.
Yeah, but I've seen.
There's only been a couple of times I've seen a trailer and it wasn't actually locked in.
Yeah, I've seen CGI touched up a few times.
A good example of that is Optimus Prime and the Age of Extinction.
Yeah.
They touched him up a little bit more before the movie actually came out.
Well, that's like the teaser things, Teasers are obviously, they have the footage that they have at the time. Kind of like with Star Wars Episode 7, they obviously didn't have as much footage when they released the teaser as when they released the trailer.
Yeah.
Their main sequence they had made of special effects at that point was the Millennium Falcon TIE Fighter fight, over Tatooine. But yeah, Fantastic Four, I'm just gonna have to hold off, man. I just don't know. But walking away from that, going into also what we have to look forward to, which is going to be plugged into the films, is, well, starting off like the Netflix stuff, is Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil. Oh man. I mean, I don't even have to review it. It's good. It's great.
If you haven't seen Daredevil,
right, you need to watch.
You're a fucking loser. That's what you are.
Like if there's
seriously,
it's to me. Like we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, we were like going back and forth. I was like, "What's the best Marvel movie?" I was like, "Well, last year we had the two best Marvel movies, which was Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy, the two best." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, no, the best Marvel movie I've seen is 13 hours long, and it's called Daredevil."
Yeah.
Because it's got a lot of heart, and it's played close to the chest, and it's serious, and it ties into the MCU a little bit, but not too much. You know, they talk about the incident, which is the Battle of New York.
First Avengers. Yeah. So. Which I'll be curious to see how they do the Age of Ultron stuff in the next,
like the
Daredevil season 2, because it was already announced that we're doing season 2.
But Jessica Jones comes out first.
Yeah, so I wonder how they're going to play that in.
I don't know,
but
I mean they will a little bit.
Yeah, they have to.
They'll sprinkle.
It all ties in.
They sprinkle little things. Obviously, they're like as Daredevil goes along, and what I like about Daredevil is the fact that like it's not a typical TV show. You know, this structure of this thing is fucking... It's a 13-hour movie.
Yeah. You have to... And I've heard people say, well, I just couldn't get into it. Well, you know, really watch it up to the point that you see Fisk.
Yeah. Like, if you don't watch the whole thing, that's 13 hours long, it's basically like you going and sitting in a movie for 5 minutes and then leaving if you watch the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
You didn't see them. This is not a TV series.
It takes like 4 episodes to really get into it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you don't see Fisk until the 4th episode, I don't think. Like, he's mentioned. His name is not said.
No.
Not even the name Kingpin is said until, like, the 3rd episode. And then Wilson Fisk is mentioned, and then you meet him in the 4th episode, and Vincent D'Onofrio fucking knocks it out of the park.
Oh, yeah.
He is awesome. Like I said, he's the best villain as far as being... really terrifying but also very sympathetic and like more human, and you can empathize with him, and then suddenly you kind of realize, no man, he's just a spoiled man child. Like he's just an asshole, but I still like him. And like you don't ever hate Wilson Fisk that much through the whole thing. They don't let you hate him.
No,
because even when he's talking to Daredevil, he's like, you know, you and me, we do things kind of the same way. It's just, you know, we have the same goals. We just have different means to an end.
Yeah.
You know, they both want to clean up Hell's Kitchen. Kingpin wants to do it with organized crime because he feels like the crime, if he destroys all the other crime families and destroys all the other crime, and these guys are fighting over Hell's Kitchen. It's 4 blocks in fucking New York City, dude.
See, that's the thing is his plan wasn't really laid out until they started fighting with each other. I'm like, wait a minute. What he's doing is he's getting the turn on each other.
Yep.
And that's how he's going to take them all out.
Yeah, he's kind of Yojimboing them.
He's basically doing the same thing Daredevil's doing.
Yeah.
But he's doing it by Suedo, like, overseeing them. Mm-hmm. You know, like, pretending to oversee them.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people, like, I don't think they, like, take away from it, is that Kingpin's not actually, like, overseeing the crime like he wants to take it over. No. He's overseeing the crime because he wants to like manipulate it in a way that it'll favor him.
And his city.
Yeah, his city.
The fucking 4 blocks in New York City that is Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
They keep saying, my city, my city. I'm like, dude, it's Hell's Kitchen. It's like 8 square blocks.
Yeah. Like, you know? So, I mean, he's just manipulating these crime families into killing each other or being killed by Daredevil. You know?
Yeah.
And... so he's not really a villain. No. He's not really a hero either, but he just does things different than Daredevil, and you know, Daredevil really never gets a chance to see that because all he sees is black and white. Yeah. That's all Daredevil sees is black and white. He doesn't see shit. Well, you know, yeah.
He sees stuff in Daredevil vision, which if you saw, it's like the world on fire. That was cool.
Let's make a blind joke while we're at it.
Yeah.
He doesn't see shit.
Sorry. Man, Rosario Dawson's awesome in it too, though. Talk about somebody that... I'm sorry. Oh, God.
You ever seen Stevie Wonder's house?
Neither is he.
No, neither is he.
So, yeah, anyway, like they were... I like what they did with, like, Stick. in Daredevil, like, and how they brought in the hand ninjas and stuff. There was that whole fight where he had the Gasari Kama fighting Daredevil, and he fucked him up, the Red Ninja.
Right.
Which ended up being, like, the leader of the Hand anyway. We know it is. They didn't say it, but we know. And then they had the Gladiator that made his costume.
Well, okay.
The future going to be Gladiator.
I think what they're doing is they're doing the same thing that Age of Ultron did, only in 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay? Is they're setting up for other shows
yeah.
In that universe. I think the TV, what you're going to have is the Netflix shows are going to tie into the MCU, but they're going to be kind of like their own self-contained MCU. Yeah. Like every one of those shows is probably going to tie into the other show. Mm-hmm. You know, until we get the Defenders.
Yeah, and then the Defenders can be tied into Avengers later on.
Right. You know, so I think what's going to happen is you have all these things like the Hand and the Inhumans and everything else in Daredevil, the Gladiator, all that stuff is going to be like either villains for the second season or it's going to be tied into like Luke Cage and Iron Fist and stuff like that.
And maybe, my theory that's been held the whole time is that I can see when they do Defenders, like Doctor Strange getting them together. Like coming in and being like, okay, I need you guys. Because they're needed for something big. Because Doctor Strange has always been a Defender. So
Benedict Cumberbatch, he has star power, but he doesn't have hubris. Yeah. You know, and he seems like kind of a down-to-earth kind of guy. I mean, he does Sherlock on the BBC.
Yeah, he has TV stuff.
He has TV stuff that he does, and he's a film actor.
Yeah. Well, this is bigger than TV. It's a little different than TV because it's Netflix, you know. So it's a different. I think a lot of actors are getting into it because it's a cool market.
I don't think he'll have a problem with like cameoing as Doctor Strange or something, but in terms of full-fledged, like...
No, I just mean getting
them
together.
A whole season?
Just getting them together. Just
I don't think that'll happen.
Helping them help bridge that gap, because once they get to Iron Fist is pretty magical as far as the story. So they need something to tether it all together. But when I was watching Daredevil, you know, it's a lot more violent and a lot more dark and a lot more adult than anything else Marvel's done. Very violent at some points, like when Fisk is bashing a dude's head off with a car door. Yeah. That's pretty fucking brutal. And it shows, you know, it shows his headless body hit the ground. And
I don't know, dude. That Punisher Warzone was pretty brutal.
Well, yeah, that's where I was going. That's where I was about to go. I feel like that this is the right mark.
That was pretty brutal, man.
That movie, he is like Jason Voorhees in that movie.
Yeah, he is
like a serial killer in that film. He does nothing but destroy life in the most brutal ways possible in that movie.
It was so bad, but it's so good.
Oh, dude, I love watching that movie.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous, but it's so much fun. It's the, like I said, it's the only Marvel horror film that's really besides Blade. But mentioning that, this feels like the right market to where they can bring in characters like Blade and Punisher and Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night and stuff like that.
Yeah, if it does, but I don't think they'll bring in the Punisher into this universe, because
I think Punisher would be in Civil War.
Oh, are you hearing all these little, you know, rumbling rumors?
Yeah.
You know, that they're going to make a Punisher movie.
And Civil War. And the Russos pretty much have said, like, you know, the guy in the Penske truck in Winter Soldier is a dude with a specific skill set. We just haven't announced who he is yet.
Right.
Because the Penske truck shows up twice. The second time, I don't know if they really meant that. It's kind of that would be just way too ridiculous if the Penske truck just happened to be the thing that hit Agent Sitwell when Bucky Barnes threw him out the window.
Yeah.
But when the Penske truck helped Nick Fury get out of that cross traffic jam with the gunfire from Hydra, that was intentional.
Yeah,
that dude in that truck was intentional at that point. That was probably Punisher, because Punisher has a Penske truck. That's what he uses. And
I've been hearing like rumors, and it's just rumor, but like Tom Hardy.
Well, I would love to see Tom
might play Punisher And so if that's the case, then it'd be a Punisher movie, not a TV series.
Yeah. It's almost not fair that Tom Hardy gets all the cool shit.
Yeah, I know, right? But if it was a Netflix series and played by somebody who's different, that'd be okay too. Because, or at least then the Punisher could thrive. Instead of having just a 2-hour movie to explain just how screwed up Frank Castle is.
Yeah. I know
you
somebody
can have a 13-episode series about how screwed up Frank Castle is.
I know somebody that would come back and do it in a heartbeat. Thomas Jane.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Jane would be down.
Yeah.
You told him he's going to do something Punisher, dude, he'd be like, dude, I'll fix it up for this universe. It's not too far removed from the MCU anyway.
No.
It's fine. It's enough self-contained, and it's not ridiculous in any way. He does have that little cameo in, I think, of Spider-Man 2, where they like bumped into each other in the park. Did you ever see
that? No, I don't remember that.
He's in the park, like walking behind, and he bumps into, like, I think Mary Jane, and it doesn't really show him until he turns around and like looks back, and it's like, it's Thomas Jane. Like it's just, it was just a little spot, like, and he's like out of focus almost, but it was, he definitely he was like,
Thomas Jane he's
a big fan.
He's not doing too well in acting anyway, so having a Punisher series would really like
bring him back
to the fold, man.
I know he's doing the show on Sci-Fi, Expanse or whatever that's coming out.
Really,
The Expanse. I know like he's got a part in that. He's wearing like a fedora, and it's a space opera kind of show. It looks pretty cool. I don't know what he's doing, and it looks like he's almost some kind of like ghost or something in it. But that's obviously not a huge... It's not like he isn't the focus of that show.
Right.
So he, it'd be good for him to come back and, he obviously wants to do it because he made that little Dirty Laundry.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm down with that, dude. Like,
yeah. Because that Punisher movie with him, it wasn't really his fault that it was bad.
No.
It was just bad.
He was the best part of it.
Yeah, it was just bad. I mean, and the storyline was really campy.
I think if you'd have took out Travolta
wasn't even really the problem.
No, I mean him. His character.
Throwing these characters at... Him throwing these characters at Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Like the Russian and the Johnny Cash impersonator. And, I mean...
What the hell, man?
Let's send all these assassins after him, and then I have to deal with him myself, But if it had been like what the Punisher was doing the whole entire time was manipulating the situation to benefit him at the very end of the movie, which was okay with me.
Yeah,
it was just all the other stuff in between. Like the Russian and the Johnny Cash impersonator and stuff.
And like the apartment people.
Yeah, it was
like
really campy. Crawlers. Yeah, it was really campy and really kind of...
He didn't get to punish.
No.
Till the end.
No.
Like, I want to see him fucking punish people. Not like Warzone. That's okay.
No, yeah.
We have one.
Warzone was a little much.
One and done.
Yeah. Warzone was a little too much. I mean...
See, but you know that Marvel also has Ghost Rider back now.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. They got him and like a bunch of characters and like him and Punisher and a couple other people were like all in this one like.
Well, good. Let's get rid of Nick Cage and do Ghost Rider again. I mean, seriously, man.
What is he doing?
What the hell is that about?
I think that Nick Cage just needs money and he'll pretty much do whatever you want him to. Like Left Behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
People think I knocked that movie because they're like, oh man, it's a Christian film. I'm like,
it's a Christian film.
No, it's not. That's not it at all. I know plenty of people who are very devout Christians who do not like that movie because it sucks.
Well,
not because it's got anything to do with Christianity. It sucks.
It's a remake too.
It's a remake of a film that already was pretty much done. I mean, they didn't have to bring it back, and it's bad. And Nick Cage the whole time is kind of like, why am I here? What's going on? Like, what?
He's got the Con Air. He's got the Con Air Southern accent going on.
Put the Bible down.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the end, the Netflix universe is open to do a lot. Like, I mean, they can do a lot of street level because this is street level Marvel, dude. I mean, like, I don't think we're gonna see like. Because, I mean, dude, they don't even show Daredevil in the fucking suit till the last episode.
Oh, God, don't say that. Don't say that.
I don't care. They don't.
There's some people who haven't seen that yet.
Well, they need to watch it. And, dude, I expected. When I was 6 episodes into that show.
You're gonna get us yelled at.
I don't care.
Okay.
When I was 6 episodes into that show, I was like, they're not gonna put him in the red suit till the end of the episode, and it's not gonna be done yet.
Yeah, I was like, where is the suit the whole entire time? And then
Didn't bother me though.
no, because the black suit's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually pretty badass.
My favorite scene from that whole thing is when they kidnap Claire. And they take her into that parking garage. They got her tied to that chair.
Oh yeah.
All those mobsters are down there, and the lights start boom, boom, going out, and she just starts cackling. Like, and they're like, what? She's like, he's here.
Yeah.
And you're fucked. And then they are. I mean, you know it's coming. You know it's that Batman kind of scene, where because Daredevil is like really close.
He's the Batman of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, he's like Marvel's Batman.
Yeah, he's just not rich.
No. He's just a badass.
He
gets hurt a lot, though. Yeah. And he's very street level.
My favorite scene in that whole series was when he went in to get that little kidnapped kid, and then he's like, he walks into a room and all you see is these guys flying out of the room, and then he comes out and starts punching them, and then guys from the other rooms kept coming in and then punching him, and then he's going to the other room. Don't really show about 50% of that fight.
No cuts.
But
they made it seem no cuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I know tricky editing.
Right.
I can. Anytime that they pan over a wall and the whole wall takes up the screen, there is some edit going on there.
Yeah.
They're taking their time. That's an edit. It just doesn't look like it. It looks like one continuous 5-minute shot. It's a 5-minute fight scene.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
He's getting tired. And he's getting worn out.
They're both breathing.
And they're, all these guys are all getting worn out and tired from each other. And he's just like, I loved it because it just seems so real.
It's so real. They're getting hurt, and then he throws a fridge at a dude.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's got a mini fridge launched at him. Like, it hit him right in the fucking face. I was like, damn, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
And I realized, I was watching this dude's fighting style, and I was like, okay, that's not Charlie Cox, obviously, even though he's amazing, but I know that he's not doing the fight scenes. And
right.
Then I looked it up, and it's the same stunt performer that was Chris Evans' stunt performer in Captain America.
Right.
Same fighter, same guy, and I can see it now. They have a similar fighting style, except Matt's fighting style is very boxery, very boxing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of upper body, a lot of punching.
Yeah.
And you can see the boxer come out, and that I thought that was great, because that's what he is. He's learned boxing first, and then he learned martial arts. So that's always going to be in this style until he gets the sticks, which he got eventually at the end. That suit's not done. Doesn't have. No. I heard people like, why don't it have the DD on it? I'm like he's that much of an asshole.
Yeah.
I got a cool suit. I guess I'll just call myself Daredevil. Yeah. Or they didn't shoehorn it in like another character going, look at that Daredevil up there. Yeah. It's not ridiculous. He's quite the Daredevil standard.
It's not done yet. It's not done yet. That suit's not done.
I'm so glad that they didn't do that. Because I hate it when they're like, the best way that I always like it is see this in the paper? They call me that. No.
Yeah.
Can you believe that I'm called that? Matt's not reading the paper, but
yeah.
I mean, Claire can tell him. Rosario Dawson is confirmed to be in season 2.
Yeah, I read that,
and I'm glad.
Yeah,
but
she's a good actress.
I feel bad for Foggy because Karen Page is going to be Matt's girlfriend at some point. Mm-hmm. Foggy's getting in there and loving on her and shit, and she's gonna. And it's just Matt Murdock in the comics, and in this show, he's always a fucking man. He's a pussy hound.
He's a pussy hound. Oh yeah.
And they're gonna break little Foggy's heart.
Yep.
And I like Foggy. Did you catch the Elektra reference?
Yeah.
The Greek chick.
Yeah.
That was cool. Some people might not catch that. There's a few little cool Easter eggs in that. It's a good show. Show. It's a 13-hour movie.
It's a good movie. It's 13 hours long, but it's still a good movie.
People, if you're not watching any the stuff on Netflix, there's a lot of good stuff. The Netflix originals, like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black and stuff. They're good shows, man, and they're all kind of made like that. They're all made in this very, like, one episode is like 5 seconds before the next episode.
Yeah.
You know, like, so feels like the long movie.
It's one continuous.
Yeah.
One continuous thing.
13-hour, 6-hour film. It's a good format, and obviously it's a young format. It's not.
Well, yeah, because people are age. It's harder and harder to binge watch something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to watch a whole season of House of Cards or something. You could be jacked up on some caffeine or coffee or something.
I did not prepare to sit down and watch Daredevil for 13 hours.
Right.
I thought I can sit down and watch a few episodes and I'm going to do some stuff and I can come back. Dude, it took my whole day. Mm-hmm. I was locked in by like we said, watch it to episode 4. Don't stop. At least go that far.
Yeah.
3 or 4. Wait till you see Wilson Fisk is the point. But by that point, they had me. I was like, well, I'm here all day. Damn it. I remember pausing it and running to the gas station and buying an energy drink.
Right.
And coming back and watching it. 13 hours is a long time.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And we're not talking about 13 hours without you, pausing it and going to piss or get something to drink.
That's 13 hours plus probably about another 2 hours doing all that stuff. So it's like 15 hours invested into a show.
It's your day. 13 hours is a day.
I had to do it in 2 days because I watched like the first 6 or 7 episodes, or 6.5 episodes. I split it off. Well, I'm like, I'll do 6.5 now and 6.5 tomorrow.
What happened with me was I did that thing where like you wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and you cannot go back to sleep.
Right.
And I hate that. It's something with old man mind or something. I don't know what it is, but I was like, man, what am I going to watch? And I remember I opened my computer and I looked at the date and I'd almost forgotten that it was, the day that Daredevil was released. I was like, oh shit, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch Daredevil. This is great. And I remember, I always remember, the rule is when stuff gets released, on Tuesdays, which is like everything, all media besides movies that come out on Thursdays and Fridays. But everything else, DVDs, Blu-rays, music, anything released on the internet happens on fucking Tuesday. And it doesn't happen at midnight. It happens at 3 o'clock in the morning so that the West Coast and the East Coast can get it at the same time.
Right.
Because they don't, fuck the East Coast. I mean, if the West Coast, if the West Coast gets it or if we get it at midnight, then the West Coast is getting it the day before. So that doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah.
So, they always, it's catch up. It's a game of catch up because you have, a big country to fill, man, and time zones. And that's not fair to anybody else. And so, I mean, I was up and I was like, it's 4:30. I know it's all on there, and it was. And dude, I just couldn't quit. It's very Law and Order meets it's like all the good parts of Law and Order meets a superhero show, and it doesn't get you bored. I don't know why anybody's saying they're getting bored because it's very talky.
I don't understand it either because it does have a lot of talking, but. That's like saying Game of Thrones is boring because it's got a lot of talking.
Well, it's too political.
Yeah, it's too political.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point of Daredevil. It's a crime drama.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And
it's very much, like you said, Law and Order meets, Batman or something.
Right.
You know?
And just when maybe... And the pacing's perfect because just when maybe you might get a little bit bored with it, here's a 5-minute fight scene.
Yeah.
And you're like, awesome.
And people don't understand that.
And like we said, he doesn't always win.
No.
He doesn't always come out unscathed.
No, there's a few parts in that series where he gets
his ass beat.
He gets his ass beat up.
If it wasn't for Claire Temple, he would have died like 3 times.
Right.
The night nurse. She was probably the coolest addition. Oh man, I'm gonna have to fucking spoil you guys. Spoiler alert. If you've not watched Daredevil, stop this for a minute until you hear me quit talking about Ben Urich.
Oh God, you want to talk about Ben Urich?
Just for a second, guys, and I'll give you you can time in just a minute. That was a waste.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I didn't agree with. Man, he is so important to the Civil War and stuff like that. I was like, man, you get rid of Ben Urich and you've took a lot of clout out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like the actor. I like what they were doing, and then he's gone.
Yeah, well, we talked about this though. He's not working for the Daily Bugle, so
right. Yeah,
it's different.
It's a little bit different.
You know,
whoever they're going to introduce in Spider-Man is going to be a little bit more important.
They could go Jameson.
Jameson could be a little bit more of a street-level reporter and then make him a little bit more hardcore. I just hope J.K. Simmons comes back. I really hope that because they want him back.
Well, Sony owns the property still, so I mean, it's very possible.
They said they want him back, and I mean, he's not out. He wants to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember there was an interview after Whiplash came out, and he was talking. They were asking him about it, and he was like, "Well, yeah, I would love to do the role." I can't see anybody else doing it. But then again, I mean, if you do want to do a younger Jameson,
or we could do Eddie Brock.
Yeah,
we could do Eddie Brock as an actual reporter this time around. You know,
you could. There's a lot of you could make Harry be a little bit more intrepid and a little less spoiled rich kid, and make him maybe wanting to learn some stuff about the world and get a job, and so he works for the Bugle. And I just don't see Harry Osborn doing that.
No.
Maybe Gwen Stacy. Maybe.
She's dead.
Not anymore.
Well, okay, yeah, because they're rebooting it again. That's right.
She's not dead anymore.
Could be Mary Jane. I mean,
I liked who they casted for
Mary Jane. You could have that heavy reporter type in Mary Jane.
That chick that they casted for Mary Jane that they ended up cutting from Amazing Spider-Man, that was a big mistake, dude.
Yeah.
Because now she's big.
Yeah.
Because, she's done the Divergent series and Fault in Our Stars and stuff like that, and she's a good actor. She's an incredibly good actor. I like Divergent.
It's actress.
I know, it's actress, but they don't like that anymore.
That's a feminine.
Now it's female actor.
Okay, female actor. Okay.
Yes. Now the Oscars has best supporting female actor in a female lead role. It's they change it up, but it's not actress anymore. I don't know why that's bad. I guess it's like stewardess. Anyway. All right, I think we've about covered the Marvel Cinematic Universe as far as anybody needs to know right now.
Yeah, and then the next episode will be the DC Universe. Yeah,
which is going to be kind of dividing because it's going to be a lot different podcast. Much different because we have less to talk about. We have more films coming. We have a lot of films coming out, but we don't have a lot of stuff to sink our teeth into except for Man of Steel.
Not a lot of information, except for Batman v Superman.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening to the new Monkeycast. We're going to include more cast members as we go along, but that's all for tonight, and we hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, subscribe, whatever, and come back and check us out next time. Have a good one.